ஆமாம் அதுதான். இவ்வளோ நாள் பேக் இருந்துச்சு, இப்போ தான் தோணுச்சு எடுத்து யூஸ் பண்ணலான்ட்டு. எல்லாமே கேட்குமே இப்போ. செக் செக். நிக்கல் நிக்கல்.
நீ பண்ணி பேசுகிறேன்.
ஓகேவா? ரிசீவ் ஆதா? செக். ஆடியோ ரிசீவ் ஆதா?
நான் இப்போ தான் அது சரி பண்ணிட்டு வந்தேன். இதை சொல்லும் போது
organization here. Yeah.
Check, audio check, yes, sir. Okay. Audio check for the online, yes, Nikhil? Now, yes? Okay, yeah, good. So, anybody? Tamil, Riyadu? Alright, so usually I tend to switch between English and Tamil. I'm Kamlesh, I'll be your host for the day. How many of you guys know me? How many of you guys have been here for more than one event? I see a couple of old faces, but new faces, alright. So, what we're going to do now is I'll take a quick rundown of the entire structure of how the event's going to be flowing. But before I start, I'll give you the heads up warning that we are running in a bit of a delay, and the delay will continue for a little bit more because, as you know, the distance is a little further, and we do function in IRCTC time. So typically we delayed by another 10 minutes or so, but not more than that. Okay. All right. So have you guys done this already? Sure. Should I? All right. Cool. Nikhil, slides change பண்ணிடலாம். நிக்கல் 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 எவ்வளோ நான் உங்களுக்கு
என்ன பண்ணணும் ஸ்பீக்கர் பேசுறதா
ஜென்ரலா எவ்வளோ டிலே பண்ணோம்
டிலே பண்ணுங்க
பண்ணிடலாம் ஆரம்பிச்சலாம்.
கண்டிப்பாக பண்ணி கரெக்டாக இருக்கும் இங்கே பேசுகிறேன்.
Alright, so cool. Alright, so cool. So first timers, how many first timers do I have here this time with React? Well, good. Returning members, raise your hands. தெரிஞ்சுதான் சாட்டர்டே அன்னைக்கு வரீங்களா இல்லை யாராவது உங்களை வந்து கட்டப்படுத்தி வருத்தப்படுத்தி உங்களுக்கு கூட்டு வராங்களா? உண்மையை சொல்லுங்க. டேபிளை தாண்டக்கூடாதா? டேபிளோடய இருக்கணுமா இங்கேயே? Alright, so I have to stay with this table. Alright. So guys, so we'll take a quick rundown, and but before I go to the rundown, I'll give you the etiquette check. Simple etiquette manners checks. Alright. So water dispensers, coffee machines, everything is right behind this screen there. So if you're feeling a little bored, if you're feeling a little tired, get some coffee, let the energy kick in, you can come back in. Washrooms are at the back, same place. And if you want to have food, you want to have இன்னும் பின்னாடியா இங்கேயா இது இது வரைக்கும் போனான்னு ஒரு இது வரைக்கும் தான். Okay. So they're testing out the equipments as well, so don't worry about that. All right. So if you guys are hungry, want to grab a snack or something, it's fine. You can go to the basement. That's the cafeteria. Why am I feeling that this is a very college பசங்க எத்தனை பேர் இருக்கீங்க? College kids. Raise your hands. Any college kids? Fourth year கூட காலேஜ் தான்ப்பா. College kids. Freshers. அதான் வருது அப்பதான். Freshers. By freshers I mean காலேஜ் முடிச்சிட்டீங்களா இல்ல முடிச்சிட்டீங்களா இப்பதான் முடிச்சிங்களா? அதான் சைலண்டா இருக்கீங்க இல்ல? என்ன யாராவது சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க? So schedule போயிடலாமா? Alright. So let me be very clear on this. The more fun you guys are, the more interactive this will be, and the more bored you guys are, the more boring this will be. So during the course of this event, you will see a little bit of fun activities to pull you guys in, engage yourself. Now, அப்படியே அந்த லாஸ்ட் ரோ அப்படியே ஃப்ரண்ட்ல வரீங்களா தான் கேட்டேன், வரணும்னு சொல்லல. வரீங்கன்னா வாங்க, இல்லைன்னா அங்கேயே இருக்கலாம். Nice. Now this middle row, can you guys group up to the first few seats? Can you? Not a, you should. Nice. Thank you guys. Perfect. So this is our 14th meetup, and we've been doing this for 14 times, 1-4, and every single time we experience new people, we do new activities, and we have new topics to talk about. So this time, what's special with our 14th edition is we are partnering with React India. If you guys are new to React, React India is the largest React conference that happens in India, in Goa particularly, and it's been going on for about 3-4 editions right now, and we have about 800 odd developers. So we do have some giveaways today, and we have some exciting activities. How many of you are actually aware about React India? Raise your hands. இன்னும் 4 பேர் 5 பேர் தூக்கு 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 up React India up. All right, cool, awesome. So I'll give you a little bit of a rundown there, and I'll tell you how important it is and how much the tickets cost, and you'll understand what it is before that. All right. So first up for agenda. This agenda, I think we are on time. I think we are on time for the first time ever. So I don't think this is a IRCDC timing. So first up, Chandrakumar is going to be joining us at 2:15. Give it a bit of a 10-minute delay, and then we'd be going in for the next session at about 2:50, and then the snack break is at 3:20. Just note that this would vary depending on the speaking times. The fun activity would vary a little bit, but of course we will likely be starting at about 4:15 for the last session. சீக்கிரமா வீட்டுக்கு போகணும்னா போகணுமா வேண்டாமா? கவலைப்படாதீங்க, நம்ம சொன்னா ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் பேசிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. இன்னும் 1 hour டாபிக் வச்சிருக்கேன், 2 hour டாபிக்லாம் இருக்கு நம்ம கிட்ட. சொன்னீங்கன்னா பண்ணிடலாம். எஸ் நோ நோ தெளிவா இருக்கணும். எஸ் ஆர் நோ? நோ. Somebody saying yes. I hear a yes. Where is this yes coming from? Front. That's yeah. Okay. So yes. Why do you say yes? சும்மா வீட்டுக்கு போகணும்னு இல்லை, ஜாலியாக இருக்கணும் வெளியே. நைஸ். ஓகே. பட் அன்ஃபார்ச்சுனேட்லி மம்மிஸ் பாய், ஐ ஹேவ் டு கோ ஹோம். நானாச்சும் வீட்டுக்கு போகணும், அதனால we have to wrap up at set time. All right. So now a code of conduct. These are 2 important things that I'll give you a quick rundown. I would request you to just take a picture of this screen and have it in your phone. And if needed, just look it up whenever, because you may never know if you need it as such. But apart from this, I'll give you a quick rundown on what it is. Both common points, that is for React India and React Chennai, is that we treat everyone equally, and every individual here is respected by every other individual. There should be no roles of discrimination. There should be no sexualization or any kind of essays in this house. If you do feel violated by any of the norms that's here, feel free to reach out to the mail IDs given in both these domains. I believe for us it's Nikhil, so he will be dealing with this case by case, and every individual feedback or remark is treated equally. All right, so this is an important slide, so make sure you take a picture and just keep it with you. If needed, scan it and look it up. All right, so right now we are a family of 9K, and this is our 14th event, and 13 events have been done before this, and we are having about 25 plus community partners. And I believe we only have a handful of people who have been here for like more than 1 event. Am I right? Yes? All right, so cool. So we have more first timers here. So throughout the course, I'm not going to talk much about this, because throughout this, you'll understand how our event flow is, and we'll touch base on this at the end. Right. For this event, KANINI is our, okay. KANINI is our sponsor. Now, first things first, I'm sorry, Surya, because till about day before yesterday, I was like, bro, kainini pota Google edu varamatingudhu bro, kaini na solliட்டு இருக்கேன் வீடியோல, and I was telling Surya, then he like, kanini da adu. So KANINI is the right way to say this, and KANINI, a huge shout out to you guys for giving us this beautiful venue. I really love the ambience personally, and everyone here love. I mean, do you guys like the ambience? Yes, no? Yes, idukkacha சத்தம் போடுங்கடா. அத்தனை ஈவென்ட் கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க ஒரு மீட்டிங்ல உங்களுக்கு. எஸ் ஆர் நோவா டப்புன்னு சொல்லுங்க. Yes, all right, I'm not holding you the stick. All right, so cool. So KANINI, they help businesses go digital, right? These guys are one of the pioneers when it comes to digital transformation and digital onboarding for businesses. And primarily they work on a lot of domains, you know, ranging from healthcare, ranging from banking sectors, finance, etc., and they're stepping into the energy sector. So they do have some referrals going on, programs going on. So you can check that out outside, and if you guys are lucky, You can get something out of it as well. And like I said, huge shout out to KANINI. You guys have been amazing to give this beautiful venue, beautiful ambience, and we'll come back to you guys at the end. All right. So when it comes to React India, எத்தனை பேர் கோவா போயிருக்கீங்க இது வரைக்கும்? போனதே இல்லை. So React India happens in Goa. It's been happening for the last since 2019. 2 years it's been online, and then after that it's come back offline. Have anyone been to React India here yet? No? Yes? All right. So this is one of the largest React India conferences, because the reason I keep saying that it is the largest conference is because you have about 800 odd developers that join you there. And to put in context, right? Just the ticket alone, without stay, food, nothing, just the tickets alone for this conference is at about 20,000, 18,989 plus GST plus 2% gateway fee. So that's where the cost of this ticket is. So a fair thing here is we are giving away some tickets for React India. All right. But before that giveaway happens, there are some etiquette rules for that as well, which I'll run down when we come to this. So this conference happens on the 30th to the 1st of November, and you have some of the best speakers, the best of minds of React coming there at Goa to give you an in-person talk. Apart from this, we also have a virtual talk which happens on the October 15th, which you guys can register free of cost. So we'll circle back on this. Now, for the LinkedIn contest. So last time we had a set of LinkedIn contests, and for those winners, you'll be getting your goodies today. And this time, this is your LinkedIn contest. So I request you guys to take a picture of this. If not, just feel free to just look at it. So the 3 rules, straightforward. I'll just pause here for like a moment for you guys to take a picture, and then we can go ahead. Okay? All right, cool. Yes, picture's done, picture's done. No more phones, no more phones, no more phones. Last one, phone. Okay, ready, such, okay. Awesome. So this is the React India ticket giveaway. Now, before we go for this giveaway, we are limited with community tickets. Each of these tickets are very exclusive to people who can come for React India. Now, us being developers, we take pride in what we develop, and we want to involve ourselves in these community events. Please note that this ticket is only the ticket for your conference. That 20,000 rupee ticket, that is all that we'll give you. Your stay, your flights, everything comes to you. So to be fair here, if you guys do think you can make the flights, you can make the time for going there, and if you think you can devote yourself to this conference, enter the giveaway, because these things are very limited, and if we'd want to like give it to people who can actually go to the React India conference. And if you feel you can make it there, go ahead, take a picture, fill it in, feel free to register yourself. Done now? Ready? All right, picture's done. We're going to speed run this real quick. So talk number 1. Before I go to talk number 1, Praveen, do we have you here? Yes. So Praveen would switch off here. But before Praveen switches off, this crowd is a little too, I don't like the crowd. It's very silent. Everybody had breakfast in the morning? Yeah, typical school answer, binary answers, yes or no? Yes. Yes, no. How many no's? I've been seeing you for the last 3-4 events now. எல்லாரையும் ஒரே ஆன்சர் தான் சொல்றீங்க. All right. So how many of you guys? Yes, no? Yes, okay. No மட்டும் கை தூக்குங்க. அந்த ஒண்ணும் வரல இப்போ. There's absolutely no one here who didn't have a breakfast. So why are you guys so silent today? Why do you guys want me to pinpoint people and then ask questions? That's going to be so awkward. But if we want to go down that road, we can. But yes. Very silent guy. Come on. If I hear a very loud yes, we'll go for the next session. Otherwise, we'll have to mock about the 5 for the next. Yes, finally. Now people get frustrated. We eat through this, we chew through this. Yes, okay, cool, nice. So, like I said, the more interactive this is, the more fun it is. We have a fun game at the end. Yar mela gaandla irukingalo. Anybody here who's not Tamil? Anybody who joined in? Okay, there, fair enough. So, whoever you guys have something as like a grudge on, have them close. Make sure they stay till 4 p.m. We have a special fun activity. Nominate them. வெச்சு செய்யலாம், ஜாலியாக இருக்கலாம். ஓகே ஓகே, அதுக்குன்னு என் பேர் சொல்லக்கூடாது, பண்ணுறதே நான் தான். ஓகே, இதுக்காச்சும் ஓகே சொல்லுங்கடா. ஓகே, லாஸ்ட் ஃபுல் ரோ fully dead. Yes, you guys know, no, I can see your guys like the mouths are like shut, no one speaking. Yes, ஏய் கிட்டத்தட்ட நான் வந்து பத்திரிக்கை தாண்டா கொடுக்கணும் உங்களுக்கு இதுக்கு மேல வந்து பேசுங்கடான்ட்டு.
Until you guys speak, he's not going to.
I ain't going to.
So better you guys speak.
Yeah, I mean there's two ways. Either we can make you speak or Mokapodify to make you speak till the point ends. Yes, no? ஐயோ எங்க காலேஜோட மோசமா இருக்கு. ஏன்னா SRM guys here. SRM இல்லையாடா? It's 2 SRM. VIT? VIT. SSN? நீ ஏன்டா கேத்துக்குற? நீ நம்ம SSN?
SVCE?
No, SVCE no connect.
SVCE still we have.
அதான் no connect.
Sorry, it's not SSN anymore. It's SNU.
There's one more college I keep forgetting. Hindustan. Hindustan anybody? அதான் இந்த ரூம் சைலண்டா இருக்குடா. புரிஞ்சு போச்சு. All the fun guys are all not here. Anna University?
We have one of the speakers from Anna University.
அதான் இந்த ரூம் சைலண்டா இருக்கு. Okay, let's go. Over to you.
Okay, so guys, like we'll start. And first, like as a speaker, I'm not a speaker, but from a speaker's perspective. Yes, from a speaker's perspective, I'll say if you're going to be this silent, it's going to be very hard for them to come and speak. Obviously, like you'll have to be silent when they're speaking, but the more interactive you are, the better it is going to be. So for the first talk of the day, we have Chandrakumar S. He has over 6 years of experience, and the best part of him is, so how many of you have actually thought about starting your own company or something like that? Or else how many of you at least have plans to start your own company? Raise your hands. Nice. We have few founders here. No, not founders. Like at least you have aspirations to be founders. Okay, cool. So he worked for like 3-4 years. He quit his job, started his own company, and then now he had to close it down due to reasons. But at least he had the guts to, kind of quit his job, start his own company. He even made revenue. He made over $1 lakh in rupees revenue. So his talk is going to be on iBreak apps so that you don't have to. He's a lead Frontend Developer at Rocket Lane. So let's give it up to Chandrakumar S. Come on, guys. So he said like he's like a little bit nervous. So I just told him, Macha, like even I'm feeling the same way. So let's give a very big round of applause for him.
Yeah. I need this or like this be fine?
Both. This for the live stream. Okay. So how do you feel now? You feel better?
Yeah, I feel okay.
You feel okay?
I think by the end of the talk I should be like this or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hi. So my whole talk is going to be a trauma of whatever I faced in for last 4 years or something. Basically, I'm trying to. In the screen, yeah, sorry. So basically, I'm trying to debug applications in live at here, and our application has like a lot of JavaScript and a lot of data, and at one point in time we have to download about 500 MB of JSON just to render a web page. And those who know 500 MB of JavaScript JSON, it's like super terrible experience. So I'm planning to touch a little bit of JavaScript and JSON and debug performance, and hopefully you'll learn something out of it and you get to implement something in your own orgs. So எத்தனை பேருக்கு இங்க தமிழ் தெரியும் or like தமிழ் சுத்தமா தெரியாது? Like yeah, I mean, I think everyone is comfortable with Tamil then. So yeah, I'll go with English then. No, okay. BTS ல இருந்து தமிழ் வேணான்னு சொல்றாங்க. So okay. So let's get started. இங்க இருக்க எத்தனை, I mean, how many of you deal with bundle sizes more than 20-30 MB in production, and there is no way like you can't optimize the app. Like it's like super cluttered. Yeah, I think very few companies. Yeah, let's do. So this is my usual intro. Like I'm Chandrakumar. I work at Rocket Lane, and then my talk is about I break apps, so you don't have to. Yeah, should be fine. Okay. So yeah, these are my links, and you can get the slide in here. I'll also put a QR code by the end of the session. And this is not a beginner friendly talk, so pardon if you are like literally getting started with JavaScript. This is not for you. So I'll quickly start with the problem statement before anything else. So I'm going to reload this page, and I'll show you how long it takes to reload, show the first content, and then I'll get it from there. Between this is our actual application at Rocket Lane, and we are a multi-tenant application, meaning Asim is one of those test account, and he happened to be my close friend, so I'm just using his account for this talk. Yeah, let's. I think it got completed, and if you look over here, it's like 67 MB of resources that got compiled, downloaded, and 51 MB of what do you call everything that got downloaded. 51 MB is like too much, and like so like it like downloading 51 MB is one thing, but showing it like after compiling, after executing everything is one other thing, and it doesn't feel like it downloaded 51 MB, and I have disabled the cache, meaning it has to download everything. And yeah, it's like super I wouldn't call it super snappy, but for an application of this size, I think this is decent enough. So let me disable cache and reload it once again to show you how user would perceive it. Like this is how, like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, that's it. So I'm going to talk about different strategies, how we got from getting down to whatever we are. Like when we started this, it was at 40 seconds to just to load this page, and imagine staring at the screen for 40 seconds doing nothing, just to update a status of a task or something. Imagine opening a Jira, staring at the screen for 40 seconds and just to update a task. Like nobody's gonna do that. And yeah, I mean that's one of the problems we faced at Rocket Lane. And yeah, so this is called network panel, and this is DevTools. To open this, right click, click on inspect, and that will open DevTools. And DevTools will show you a bunch of things. Currently I'm talking about network. Inside network you can click on JavaScript, it will tell you how much of JavaScript that it got downloaded. Let me also open coverage. Coverage is also going to show you how much of JavaScript it's being downloaded versus how much of it is being used, and many other things. So let me run it for a while. Yeah, I think it's done. Okay, so JavaScript, we are using about 48 MB of JavaScript, out of which 17 MB is being used, which is roughly 35%. I'll also show you live stats from other websites, so you get a better understanding of what's happening. So yeah, I mean obviously we are going to download 50 MB JavaScript, which unpacks at 74 MB, and we are making about 10 API calls. Like if it go here, we are making way more API calls, and 35 seconds, like who is going to stare at the screen for 35 seconds? And between this is our build size, like it's like 200 MB of JavaScript and SVGs and whatnot, like too boring and too slow. So this metric is also referred by LCP. For those who know what's LCP, it's like it says when the web page is likely loaded, or as I would like to call it, user சும்மா start பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பான் screen ban அவ்வளவுதான், without any loading screen, without anything, like and the full form is largest contentful paint. To get it, you can get it from Lighthouse or Performance tab in Chrome DevTools. So let's skip it. Understanding this web page is little bit difficult, so let me downsize the problem and show you in a simple website. So this web page is like very simple. It has like 2 HTML and there is one JavaScript that's being downloaded, and this JavaScript does prime computation, and then I run over a million iterations to just compute the same if it's a prime number or not, if it's a prime number or not, and I just execute the function. That's it. So let's open it and let's show you few metrics. So yeah, I mean it's a very simple website. It looks loads quicker, and so this is performance, and yeah, again this is DevTools. I went to performance. I'll just do a reload and I stop it. So what this tells us how much of JavaScript is taking to execute. For example, long prime computation took about 61 milliseconds to run. Obviously it's going to take a lot of time because I'm doing a million iteration on prime number computation. Prime number computation itself is a huge operation because I have to do a square root of that number and go up to that particular point. So yeah, it's a huge computation. So let's look at network tab as well. Yeah. So this is the HTML. Whenever we request something on web page, it's going to download the HTML. At this, I mean, this is taking way less time, like 4 ms or something. In your prod, it might be a little bit higher, depending upon how you serve it. And once the HTML got downloaded, it's gonna download the JavaScript. So like nothing fancy yet. Let's look at mainframe and see what it says. So like you can drill down and look at every single task that the main thread is doing. And if you know JavaScript, it's a single threaded, meaning everything is going to run in main thread, including compilation, execution, CSS rendering, everything. And Chrome suggests your main thread should not be blocked more than 13 ms for JavaScript execution, because it has to compile all this JavaScript and make it as paint in the, I mean make it, and has to paint this HTML. Like so, it suggests not to go beyond 13 ms. And yeah, I mean so which means this 61 ms is a long task, and I'll tell you what is long task in a minute. Before that, let's go over finish loading HTML, and then it passes HTML. Obviously the HTML has to be get passed. That also happens in the main thread between, and then it does style calculation and layout thrashing and few other things. I'll skip for now. And it's eventually JavaScript is going to load, because HTML got loaded and the JavaScript also got loaded, and downloading JavaScript took about 2.8 ms or something. Like it's, again, in your prod it might be little bit higher. So once the JavaScript got downloaded, it starts to compile the JavaScript. So in other languages, you usually dish out the compile code. For example, if you write code in Java, usually you'll compile and send it as a bytecode or jar files or whatnot. But in JavaScript, you just dish out JavaScript, and the browser has to do the compilation for you. and browser usually converts the JavaScript into AST and then into bytecode, which you might need to know or might not, depending upon where you stand. Yeah, I mean, compilation has to happen, and for our JavaScript it just took 55 microseconds to compile. Like, it's super quick, and then it starts to execute the JavaScript. So execution always happens from the top to bottom, and then it looks at this particular function and it starts to call it starts to call this particular function. So yeah, that's how the long prime number got called, and it took about 61 ms. But if it go to source, it's going to tell you an average of all the what do you call, average of all the loops that it has to went over. So yeah, I mean, that's why it's reporting as a low number, but yeah, it's actually quite a large number. And then it every time it would call is prime, is prime, is prime. So yeah, let's, and then once the execution is done, there is one other step called caching source script. This is also quite interesting, because if you reload the page, depending upon the size of your JavaScript, the whole compilation process would be skipped. So this tiny block that you see over here, Chrome will just skip this if you reload the page, and if your JavaScript happen to be way tiny. I'll also show you certain matrices and why it is so important in our case. Yeah, that's it. Like the main thread is idle after that, like nothing fancy, because we are not doing anything yet. So let's move on. This is how any web page would download, and we have covered something called performance tab. Let me also cover coverage tab. Coverage tab tells you how much of JavaScript is being, okay, what happened? Yeah, I think I have to reload. Yeah, how much of JavaScript is being used. So it says 0%, and everything got used. Like, there is no JavaScript that's being not used. So let me stop it, and let me uncomment the rest of the code and show you something. Yeah, so we have uncommented. Let's, yeah, right now it says like all these JavaScript that are not being used, and you can click on this. It would open the file and it will tell you what are all the parts of JavaScript it got executed. And remember, comments are also is getting executed, because technically you have shipped comments, and comments are legal code. Like, it's not an illegal syntax or something that it can't run over. So it still compiles all the comments. So yeah, and then all these red color lines that you see are not being used anywhere. So this is how any web page load, nothing fancy. Let's get to our thing. So in our example, we have about 47.6 MB of JavaScript. Used size is 36%, which is like roughly 17.1. And for compilation, what we saw, like microsecond, in our case, for every MB that you ship, it's going to take 50 ms roughly to compile the JavaScript, which means in our case, just to compile the JavaScript, it's going to take 2.38 seconds, which is like, again, way too high. And execute the JavaScript is again going to take 6.8 milliseconds, because for every MB it's going to take roughly 400 ms, until or unless you do some expensive operation within the JavaScript. So yeah, let's run over. I also pulled some stats from other websites. This is YouTube, and again 31% usage. So like, if you have like 70% coverage, you are good to go. And what we did to actually like usually the first order of thought comes to our head is, let's lazy load everything and it's going to magically solve everything. Like, lazy loading doesn't help you because it provides one other problem. It's going to bring waterfall into the whole picture. Like, what happens is, first import statement will be executed and JavaScript will be running, and then you lazy load something, that JavaScript has to eventually download, it then has to go through all the compilation, execution, then it will trigger a new JavaScript, and yeah, it's going to be way too complex. What we did instead is a very simple thing. So this is our actual code. I mean, obviously there are like many more try catches and things. So instead of downloading JavaScript in a waterfall model, we literally hardcode all the bundles, so it doesn't go through waterfall, and compilation execution happens in the globe, and all these things brought our execution from 10 seconds to just under 2 seconds or something. And so like, we also have API calls, and we have about 7 or 8 of them. So where are we? Yeah. So yeah, we also have a bunch of API calls. Like, these are all the API calls that would be running, and there are like 7 or 8 of them. So downloading 7 or 8 API calls is again going to cost a lot of time. And remember, this is a test account, and in test account it's taking like roughly 440 ms. In live it might go up to 1 second or something. So all these are going to happen only after the JavaScript got executed. It's not going to happen at the time of compilation, it's going to happen after the time of compilation. Meaning, again, all these things are going to, like, somehow we have to parallelize all this operation. That's the intent of the whole thing. So the way we parallelize is using, first thing, we download every JavaScript, and downloading JavaScript is not happening in the main thread, whereas compiling and parsing happens in the main thread. So downloading parallel, and then we spun up web worker as a part of it. So in the main thread, we first spun up web worker. Yeah, in the main thread, first we spun up web worker, and what web worker does is, so it downloads all the, yeah, it downloads all the fetch API calls. Yeah, it downloads all the fetch API calls, that 7 API calls parallelly as and when the JavaScript is getting downloaded. Meaning, once the JavaScript got executed, the data is available already. So that's exactly how we brought our LCP from, yeah, where is it? Yeah, that's exactly how we brought our LCP from 40 seconds to like 3 seconds or 4 seconds. So I'll finally show you the actual LCP. So it's loading the page. Okay, what happened to the LCP? For some reason this is not showing. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, from like 40 seconds we brought down to 4 seconds, because we download everything parallelly and we execute everything parallelly instead of sequentially. And the way we did it is using web worker, and there are some do's and don'ts in our approach as well. So like, For example, if the app is running in the background, web worker won't even spun. So be mindful of it. And if you are using SVGs, there is one more trick. Usually SVGs will also be bundled in your JavaScript, depending upon how you set up your webpack. So go to coverage and then look at all your SVGs, and if your SVGs are taking too much of your space, first lazy load, else follow this format: WebP, JPEG, PNG, SVG. SVG could be the last format, and rest of this format are slightly taking lower. So yeah, I mean, and rest of those things are like normal, like use CDN to serve static assets, and then don't cache the HTML itself. So once in my startup I did cache my HTML, and that's it. No more updates are going to any clients. Like literally I'm screwed. And use HTTP2. So for if you use HTTP2, there are like advantages in terms of performance as well, which I'm not going to cover over here, but yeah. LCP tells you only half of the story. It tells you when is the largest content that it got loaded. It tells you when is the largest content that it got loaded. It doesn't tell you when the user sees the entire web page, and showing the entire web page requires you to download the API calls and render the page. So there are ways you could measure that as well. So let's look at an example again. So let's look at this example once again. So this is a performance marker. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm sending a callback, and I got a bunch of options, and I'm setting up all the string interpolations, and I'm calling this weird function called performance.mark. It basically would mark, it basically tells the JavaScript, hey, there is something the user is trying to mark in the timeline. And I'll also show you how to see it in the DevTools. But yeah, I mean, I'm calling the function, and I'm ending the mark, and I'm measuring everything, and I'm doing a console log of timestamp, and then I'm doing console log and measure and everything. So, and I'm calling this function with the long prime computation, and then I have these labels over here, and I have a set timeout, and it's doing the same thing. So let's remove this code, and let's remove our first implementation, and let's look at how this is actually being rendered in the performance. So most people might have seen these main threads, but you also can actually custom mark your timings, and this prime number computation is what is powered from console.time. So basically the label is prime number computation main thread, and then you can have a custom track, custom group, color, and many more things. So yeah, you can set your label, you can set your not console log, where is it? Yeah, so you can set your label, you can set your start time, end time, details, and everything, and it will show you in the timeline. So you can do few cool tricks with this. For example, when you profile an application of this sort, there are like many components in this application, like is it? Yeah, there are like many components in this application. There are like task cards, avatars, like swim lanes, and like the task list is crazy huge. So yeah, I mean, many things. So let me do a reload on performance and show you how React uses performance dot measure. Let this page render. Is it even rendering this page? Yeah. So all these are script execution evaluation that we have seen previously. Let's look at timing, and there you go. Like all these, you might be familiar with Chrome DevTools profiler, but you can literally see that over here. You don't need to go to profiler to see all the custom timings. These things React itself will tell you, hey, these are the components that it got rendered at this particular point in time. You can hover over here and see. Okay, I didn't measure the screenshots or what. Okay, for some reason the screenshots are not visible. Okay, so but you can look at a particular point in time and see what are all the components that it got rendered, and yeah, I mean there are like multiple components that we get that mounts at some point in time, and you can also look at the network calls and see, hey, which network call is responsible for rendering which component. And you can also look at the JavaScript and see, hey, what JavaScript is responsible for rendering which component and what not. Like you can go like full blown debugging with this performance tab in itself. So we also have custom timings similar to how we do done over here, and you can have an performance benchmark for per module level. For example, if it's a login module, you can set a performance benchmark saying, hey, this should be visible within 300 milliseconds, and you can push those metric to Datadog and see, hey, is my lab testing being shown in the live. So all these things you can do, and all these things are there in my slide as well, but yeah, I mean you can take it in the last. So I'll show you how we set up our Datadog. So this is how we set up our Datadog for the page load. So the page load we optimize from 40 seconds to 3 seconds, and we want to see that in action. So the left side column is minutes, and the y-axis is minutes, and the x-axis is the users. And I'm doing it for like past 3 days or something, and I'm also downsizing the user to top 50. Like you don't need to look at specific metric, but yeah, I mean hovering on a particular thing, you can literally look at, hey, for this particular user, it only took about 53 seconds, which you can then ask, hey, why is this taking too long? Or in this particular case, it's taking 14 seconds, and you then can measure, hey, it shouldn't be 14 seconds, it should be 4 seconds or something. And you can then again debug it further and optimize your app. So yeah, and for some users it's like 36 milliseconds. I'm not sure how it is, but again you have to deal with all this anomalies. But yeah, this is how we optimized our application from 40 seconds to 4 seconds, pushed it, tested in production as well using Datadog and other metrics. And the way we did it is parallelly downloading all the JavaScript and APIs for the web page to download everything and compile everything at the same time. So yeah, I mean closing thoughts, I also had few more things in place which I don't think I'd be able to cover, so I'll cut down on that and I'll give a closing thought. So yeah, you can get the slides over here. I also put up QRs for slides and my LinkedIn, so you can take screenshots if you want. Yeah, you can take a photo, screenshots, and 1 second, let me. Yeah, that's all. So do you have any other questions, like any other concern?
Hi, my name is Nasser. So you are adding the JS field statically, right? So is that the right approach?
Like what do you mean by statically?
I think.
Oh, so that's the end result of any page that you visit. But we set up our webpack in such a way it will inject the JavaScript into the HTML. So the end result looks like that.
Can you please show me that worker file that you have written?
Yeah, the worker file is also available in the slides. You can download the slide and take a look at the worker file. But yeah, to give you an idea, there is a fetch data which obviously is going to do a fetch call. So here is a fetch call, and then we have all the helper functions to call particular APIs, and then we have this on message. We have set up few messages like set. Okay, yeah, sure. So I'll remove this. Hopefully this is visible now. Yeah. So this is as a part of on message. We are setting up. We are sending set data, get data, and many more things. Hopefully this will make the API call within the web worker and set it inside the context of the web worker, so we can use it later.
Okay, I'll take a look at
Yeah, you can.
I'll get a clarity.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Yes.
Hi, I'm Harish. So you were telling you are running the JavaScript files parallelly, right? So if there is any dependency from one file to another file, how did you handle the synchronous?
You should repeat the question for online
Okay,
audience.
got it. So your question is essentially like how would you like if there is an dependency between JavaScript, how does it handle? So JavaScript handles all the dependency for you. So once the JavaScript is shipped, it knows all the function and it does hoisting for you. You don't have to do that. Once the hoisting is available, it will then start to execute the functions. So at the point of execution, there is no more extra import calls and everything, because the webpack itself will make sure the import calls are together bundled and all the lazy loaded components are in a separate bundle.
So let's say there is two JavaScript file, file 1 and file 2. Let's say file 2 is dependent on file 1. So if it is lazy loaded, then file 1 will load first and then file 2 it will fetch.
Exactly.
In case we are running parallelly, if file 2's bundle size is, file 2 size is lesser and the HTTP request is complete and it is fetched before file 1, then that would be.
So okay, I'll also show you. Yeah, I think I got your question. So your question is more of like, let's say there are two files and one file is 1 MB and one other file is 5 MB. You are wasting your CPU resource in waiting for the second file to actually download. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So this is the network call, and I'll show you what happens here. So okay, this is serving from localhost, but again, this is how exactly it will be served from the live as well. If you see over here, it's actually downloading all the JavaScript, and the starting point of the download would be same. I think I missed to record it. Okay, the starting point of all these things would be same because it's being served from the HTML. And once everything got downloaded in the main thread, it will start to evaluate the JavaScript. So this particular this particular embed.js got evaluated at that point in time. So your main thread is responsible for evaluating your JavaScript. All you do is you parallelly download the JavaScript so that your main thread is ready to take up the scripts.
Got it. So the files are fetched before, but the evaluation happens in the HTML file. So this handles the synchronous.
Yeah.
Got it.
Any more questions? Yes.
So the Datadog option that you assured that usually poses a risk in terms of performance, because usually it slows down on a page, the sending metrics, the observability metrics. So how do you handle that?
There are multiple ways in which you can handle. There is something called as I forgot. So there is a thing that is provided by Data Studio. So there is something called as Data Studio. Inside Data Studio, you can set up all the matrices and you just send it to Data Studio once. But yeah, again, as you told, like downloading JavaScript, I mean, downloading all the Datadog is going to take some time, and as it runs, it's going to take some time. So that performance overhead is okay because we need live data as well. So
But the parallel downloading option, why not use async defer?
yeah, we are using async and defer. Yeah.
The question was why did you have it in an array and was it just for demonstration?
So, yeah, that's just for demonstration. But in live, it will be like async and defer. And
Any more questions? No. So okay. So next we have a fun activity planned. But before that, I just thought let me have some fun. Okay. So what I'll do is like there are 50 rows here. Okay, and there are around 9 columns. Yeah. So there are around 9 columns. Okay. So I'll just say some random row and a random column, and there'll be some questions I've noted based on this talk. So I'll ask a question and Chandra will be answering it. Okay? So let's start from the 14th row, third person. 14-3. Who's there? Hey, come on, at least. Okay, I'll go 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3. You have this gentleman over here, so what's your name? How was the talk? Go. Okay, that's all. Fine. Okay, so I'll ask a very simple question. Okay, so what is? I've just got a list of questions. Okay, just tell like what is FCP? I will say whether it's correct or not. Okay. Any idea what FCP is? Okay, so anyone over here? Anyone knows like what an FCP is?
LCP, I talked about LCP. LCP.
Okay, let me just go with some other number. 30. I could see fearful eyes. Okay, let's go with 7, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Do you want to?
7, I said 4. Okay, so in the talk, like the talk is said like the JavaScript code will get converted to AST. Correct me if I'm wrong. So do you know like what an AST is? No. Okay, so Chandra, could you explain what an AST is? Yeah, okay, we have someone over here. Nice.
So I'm Saran Karthik. So basically, we can tell ASC like something. If we type code in any interpreter, any ID, right, you get syntax error. So basically, that is coming because of an AST. So what exactly happen is, whatever the code which we type, it will be converted into lexical notation. Which means, let's take an example. Let x is equal to 10. So it will be combined into tokens. Let x equals 10. So it will be in a way which the compiler can understand. Suppose that will be fed into an AST. So if this for these tokens, if the tree is successful, which means what you have written is syntactically correct. If a tree can't be produced, then this leads to syntax error. So that's where AST comes from.
How many of you understood? Raise your hands.
Code JavaScript.
Come on, raise your hands. Like this guy has spoken for like 5 minutes. At least for naam ke awaaz, raise your hands. Hey, naam ke awaaz, do bring it up. Okay, thanks. So it's time to felicitate Chandra. So I invite Surya onto the stage. Okay, but before that, let's give a round of applause to Chandra.
Central stage.
Just give us a minute. We just have to stop the screen share. Yes, it's almost there. Okay, let's give a round of applause, guys. Okay, so bro, how do you feel now? Like you're nervous?
Yeah, like after some people actually understood, I was like, okay, I didn't do a terrible job, but yeah, I mean,
You did a great job.
thank you.
Okay, so now it's time for the fun activity. I invite Rambo onto the stage. He's going to set the stage on fire. Come on, Rambo. Yeah, come on, let's say Rambo.
So, how many of you guys are in energy to have an activity? Yes, how many of you guys have energy? Hey, last time okay. Right, so how many of you guys have energy to handle this activity? Energy, Rika. Not raise of hands, binary answers, yes or no. Do you have energy? Yes, now you have energy. Illa talk poilama, talk or game, simple. Game, simple, straightforward. I see these two girls and you guys you've been like silent. All okay? All good. யாரா உங்களை ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணி இங்க வர வச்சாங்களா? ஓனா தானே வந்தீங்க? இல்ல ஏதா பிரச்சனையா? நிக்கில் இருக்காரு. நிக்கில் இருக்கு சொல்லுங்க. He's actually he'll help you. Alright, others. Alright, let's go for the game. Already ஒருத்தங்க எழுதிச்சு கிளம்ப போறாங்க. Bye bye. Alright, so இதை காமிச்சோடனே எல்லாரும் பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிருவாங்க. இவ்வளவு நேரம் பேசாத இந்த crowd இதை காமிச்சோடனே கிஜி கிஜின்னு குதிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருவாங்க. Alright, so I need a person who was here. Yes, ma'am. Can I have you as a guest to demonstrate the game? So she's been with us for the last couple of events, at least 2 to 3, and last 2 events, she's been a part of this game. Now, this game needs noise. Varuma? I hear 6 yes. 6 நம்பிக்கை இருக்கு வந்துரும்ட்டு. மத்தவங்க yes or no? Yes. Yes, lovely. All right. So, how this game works is, you can have your mic. How this game works is, primarily, they will show a word on screen. Now, the challenge is you cannot say what that word is to the participant who will be here on stage. They will not look at the screen. They cannot know what the word is, all right? But you have to give them clues to guess the word. The only catch here is you can't give them distinctive clues. Let's have a real example, please. So let's see. The word here is mentioned up top here. So you can't tell this word directly to them. At the same time, you cannot use any of these words. இத தவிர வேற என்ன இது சொன்னாலும் ஏத்துக்கப்படும். Okay? So let's somebody raise your hands. Somebody raise your hands. First clue யார் கொடுக்க போறா? Yes sir. That's good. Just stop it. Just shout it from there what the clue is.
Who's the player? Who's the part?
She is the player. You have to help her with the clue to guess the word.
See.
No, you gotta give it to him. Yeah, let's go. You will need this wherever you go.
Wherever I go.
Yes, wherever you go. You will need this.
Google Maps?
Alright. That's out your chance. Yes, sir. You want to try?
Is it by action?
No, by words. Yes. No symbols. No. Last time, last event, we had a word called GitHub. Some girl was there. She was from GitHub campus ambassador. GitHub ni பெருசா கொட்டறதா ஷர்ட் போட்டுருந்தாங்க. ஆடே எழுதிருச்சது பாரு. இதான் word. சொல்லு. நான் அப்படி சொல்லுங்க. அதோட சொல்லிட்டேன். அப்படியே words. Alright. Somebody, yes, sir.
So, is this available in everywhere? Wherever place you are going, it's available for me.
It's available everywhere, whichever place you're going. Available
for free. Everyone can use this. Free.
Where free?
You go to some public place like railway stations, airports.
Railway station la tooki. I mean, thing is, she is right in one point. The washrooms are free, but see, the washrooms are free, but that I don't think is free, bro. All right, somebody puts somebody there. I missed yes. No, the one behind. I'm sorry, I missed you. Yes. It's an example. Don't worry. Fast up or no?
You could use it for free, but it's a network.
It's a network, but you can use it for free. Lovely. Yes, yes. Well done. So, thank you so much for being on this. You also qualify for it. So, you're going to the first one. அவங்கள செக் பண்ணிடலாமா first one? இல்ல வேற மாத்திடலாமா? அவங்கள செக் பண்ணிடலாமா? Okay. Don't see the screen. All right. We're going for the first one. Listen. So, we want to give everyone a chance here. So, let's limit one person to one. If in case we don't have anything, we'll go with that. All right. So, let's be fair for everyone. Let's roll. Okay. Anybody? Yes, sir.
Login page, you have to enter it.
Password, username.
Actually speaking, நானும் அதான் யோசிச்சிருப்பேன் சொன்னோனே பட்டு எடுத்து நான் அதான் யோசிச்சிருப்பேன். Okay. The last, yes, my good sir. Yeah? No, IRCTC. Okay, he says IRCTC.
Dates of traveling.
All right. So prove him that you're not a robot.
Capture.
Your name, sir? What? Sriram. Thank you, Sriram. உங்களுக்கு குடி வேணும்னா நீங்க அடுத்து நீங்க தான் வரணும். அது பேர் சும்மா கேட்டு வச்சுட்டேன். நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் கூப்பிடுறது வசதியா இருக்கும். Alright. Anybody nominees? Now is the fun part. யார் மேலலாம் காண்ட்ல இருக்கீங்களோ பேரை மட்டும் சொல்லி கூப்பிடுறது என் பொறுப்பு. யாரு? அனந்த பிரபு வாங்கப்பா. வாங்க ப்ரோ வாங்க. புடிச்சாச்சு. வாங்க மேம். 2 நிமிஷம் தான் பட்டு முடிஞ்சிடும். கவலையே படாதீங்க. அந்த பக்கம் பாருங்க. திரும்பி பார்க்க மட்டும் கூடாது. உங்க நிக்கல் எப்படின்னா அடிச்சு கூப்பிடுவாரு. திரும்பி பார்க்க கூடாது. ஓகேவா? இங்க மட்டும் தான் பார்க்கணும். சைன் லாங்குவேஜ் அதுவும் ஓகே ரெடியா? ரோல். எனக்கு தெரியாது டெக்னிக்கல் வேர்ட் இது. பட் the data is there. You guys, yes sir. இது சொல்றது மட்டும் நீங்க வந்து சொல்றீங்க. ஃபிஷிங். சொல்லுங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட்ல இருந்து. Recent vulnerable issue. Next, okay, next. Anybody? I saw somebody. Sarvesh bro, சொல்லுங்க. இதுக்கும் அதுக்கு என்ன சொல்றேன்? சத்தியா புரியலையா? இருக்கா? டெக்னிக்கல் தெரியல எனக்கு. Go for it. அடிச்சு விடுங்க. ஹாட்டா கோல்டா நான் சொல்றேன். அடிச்சு விடுங்க. ஏதோ ஒரு சொல்லுங்க ப்ரோ நீங்க. அப்பதான் தெரியும் நீ எங்க இருக்கீங்கன்னு. Where you can get JavaScript libraries. One by one. Where you can get JavaScript. Bro, எதா நீங்க சொன்னாதான் நீங்க நிலால இருக்கீங்களா இல்ல சூரியன் கிட்ட இருக்கீங்களான்னு எனக்கு தெரியும். Then I have to pull you to this.
Sibling of you get fifth. Sibling of you get.
Hey, come on guys, raise the fans. He's saying it first. Go ahead, sir. Sibling of fifth you get. Next. என்ன பண்ணோம்? Influence. Well done. அவர் சொல்லிட்டாரு. Well done. Perfect. Next. வணக்கம். Yes, come on. Let's go. Your name, sir? நான் வணக்கம் வைக்கிறாரு நேம் கேட்டா. ஐயா. அடுத்து இந்த போட்டோ வந்து அடுத்த வென்யூல வந்து நாங்க ஷட்டில் இங்க போட்டு வர போறோம். இப்படிக்கு நிக்கில் அப்படின்னு போட்டு வருவோம். ஆல்ரைட், ரெடி? என்னங்க நிஜமாவே ஷட்டடிக்கு போறோமா என்ன? ஷட்டடிக்கு போறோமா நிஜமாவே? ஷட்டடி இது மாதிரி போட்டோ. ஆல்ரைட், so whatever happens, you're not looking at the board. Okay, roll it. நிகல். ஈஸி. என் கையில இல்ல, அவர் கையில தான் இருக்கு. என்ன தெரியல. ஈஸி தான் ப்ரோ இது. சொல்லிடலாம். Anybody here? I'm going to restrict this full side on the last on the chunk of that row. இது சத்தியமா யாரோனா சொல்லலாம்யா. Clue. I mean, obviously take a look at the restricted words. Yes, my good sir. Wait, one by one. Trojan. I don't get you. All right, leave it. Yes, sir. One of the vulnerabilities. Bad software. That's actually a really nice one. Issue. Very cool. Somewhere warm. Anybody else? Raise your hands and I'll give you a chance. Yes, sir. Ransomware. Transformer கேட்றாங்க. எனக்கு அதான் யோசிச்சேன். இதுக்கு வந்துடா. Ransomware. Ransomware. All right. So somebody needs to make it a little bit more easier for him. Come on. Yes.
When you download a movie from a pirated site, along with the movie, what do you get?
வருது வந்துருச்சு இது வரைக்கும் வந்துருச்சு கக்கிருங்க வரல.
Along with the movie, what do you get?
Virus.
கோல் சரி ஹாட் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் டொமைனுக்கு வந்துட்டீங்க. அது இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் பெருசு படுத்தணும் அவ்வளவுதான். ஓகேவா? ரெடி சம்படி. ஆமா நெக்ஸ்ட் சம்படி இன்னைய இதுக்கு எஸ் மேம் மெல்லி எப்படி அது இல்ல இதுல மெலிஷியஸ் ஓகே சிம்பிளிஃபை எஸ் சார் அவர் கொடுத்துருவாரு நினைக்கிறேன் ஆன்சர். யூஎஸ்பிக்கு இதுக்கு என்ன சம்பந்தம் எனக்கு புரியல. வைரஸ் கரெக்டா சொல்லிட்டீங்க. ஓகேவா? வைரஸ் கரெக்ட். அவங்க சொன்ன பதில எல்லாம் கனெக்ட் பண்ணிப்போம். வைரஸ் கரெக்ட். ransomware ஒரு வைரஸ் டைப். ஓகேவா? அப்புறம் அவர் சொன்ன பேட் சாஃப்ட்வேர் இதெல்லாம் எதுல போடுவோம்? ஒரு நேம் கொடுப்போம் இதுக்கு. நம்ம ஃபீனிக்ஸ்க்கு அப்புறம் என்ன வரும்? ஃபீனிக்ஸ் மால் தான் வருது. அவரா தான் சொல்றாரு. லேமன் டெர்ம்ஸ் சொன்னா லேமன் எங்கயோ போயிட்டீங்க. இவ்வளவு நீங்க தான் இருந்தீங்க. போயிட்டீங்க அந்த பக்கம். அந்த ஃபீனிக்ஸை மறந்துட்டீங்க. கம் ஆன் ஃபாஸ்ட். லாஸ்ட் 2 க்ளூஸ். கம் ஆன் லாஸ்ட் 2. Crash bytes or dash bytes? Dash bytes. MS software.
Famous software too. Antivirus software. Okay.
Another வார்த்தை is here. சரி fine. I'll let that slide for this one. Antivirus வந்து இதுக்கு தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. இத தடுக்கிறதுக்கு. பாருங்க ஆன்டிவைரஸ் தடுக்க போகுது. வைரஸ் சொல்லிட்டீங்க. பேட் சாஃப்ட்வேர் சொல்லிட்டீங்க. இதெல்லாம் எதுல போடுவோம்? இதுக்கு பேர் என்ன? சாஃப்ட்வேர் தான். என்ன அதுக்கு என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க? டெக்னிக்கல் டேர்ம் என்ன இருக்கு? இது என்ன ஒரு All right. So it's a good try. Thank you so much. But that was the answer. Next anybody? இந்த ரோ ஃபுல்லா நம்ம அப்சர்வ் பண்ணிட்டோம். எனக்கு அந்த லா வந்துட்டாரு ஒரு சரி வாங்க நீ கைதாயா தூக்குற எழுதிட்டு வந்துட்டாரு அந்த வரைக்கும். நைஸ். So I love the enthusiasm. Your name is my good sir. கீர்த்திவாசன். சரி எதுக்கு இப்போ அவ்வளோ இதுல வந்து நான் இப்போ சப்போஸிங் நான் அவருன்னு சொல்லியிருந்தேன் என்ன பண்ணிருப்பீங்க? யாருமே சொல்லல. அதான் வந்துட்டீங்க. I like this guy. Alright, super. Time box பண்ணணும் இப்போ. ஓகேவா? க்ளூஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா? ரைஸ் ஆஃப் ஹேண்ட்ஸ். அவசரப்படக்கூடாது. ரைஸ் ஆஃப் ஹேண்ட்ஸ். எஸ் சார்.
Next.js, Solid.js, Well.js.
Next.js.
நக்ஸ்னு ஒன்று இருக்கா? ஓகே வெரி குட். என்ன பதிலே சொல்லிட்டேன் நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன். நைஸ். Technology. All right, so next fast, let's go. I'm going to like throw this there. Those 3 girls at the middle, nominate one of yourselves. யாரையா குளியில தூக்கி போட்டுருங்க. நீங்களே யாரையா போட்டுருங்க இல்ல யாரையா நான் கூப்பிடுறேன். அவ்வளவுதான். அவங்க போட்டாங்க. எஸ் மேம் யூ ஆர் செலக்டட். வாங்க. அதான் அவங்களாம் கூப்பிடுறாங்க. ரைட். ஸோ இது பேசுனது வச்சு போனாங்களா? அதனால கூப்பிட்டேன். இதெல்லாம் கோத்துடாது. ரெடி ரெடி. ஐயோ ரெடி. ஆல்ரைட். ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் யாரை கூப்பிடுறதுன்னு I'll give a clue. I want this entire segment of the row to be participating in this. So let's see. All right, ready? So simple clues. Don't look at the screen. Look at the audience, and they will guide you. It's relatively simple. Yes, audience. Yes. Redis. Okay. We need to like dumb it down. We need to give it like in a very layman term. Yes.
In the processor, what do you look in L1, L2, L3?
In a processor, there's L1, L2, L3. From a basic, okay. Don't go technical. Keep it down to minimum.
If someone throws ball at you, what?
If another? Oh, good one. How? What is the point, sir?
someone throws a ball at you, what will you do?
Hey, see, that is, I mean, you. Yo. So for the guys who didn't understand, the thing he said is, if someone throws a ball at you, what will you do? Catch. நான் சொல்ல தாக்கப்பட விரும்பலை. அடுத்த சீசன்ல பார்ப்போம். Next. Okay, anybody else? Come on. இந்த ரோல் வந்து yeah, lovely. Yes, let's have. யார்? நீங்களே கூப்பிடுங்க next time. Alright, okay, super. போலாமா? உங்க பேரு?
கிருபாநிதி. கிருபாநிதி.
மிரட்டுற மாதிரி சொல்லாதீங்க, ஒரு பயமா இருக்கு. கிருபா. Nice. Okay, so இது எனக்கு சத்தியமா தெரியாது, but okay. Restricted words are there. Yes sir. கை தூக்குனீங்களா இல்ல? One of the JavaScript data types. So let's keep it like this. Alright, கடைசில another name of void. நீங்க இந்த பக்கம் வரீங்க, நம்ம அந்த பக்கம் தான் இருக்கணும். Yes sir, yes.
What do you do if you are not going to return anything, other or you are going to check for a condition? Static.
எங்கேயோ போயிட்டீங்க, நம்ம சிம்பிளிஃபை பண்ணுவோம் இதை. Anybody else?
நடக்கும்போது கால்ல செல்போன்ல முள்ளு குத்தும்.
என்னது? ஓ, இன்னும் எப்படி கிரியேட்டிவானா யோசிக்கிறீங்க? திருப்பி ஒரு தடவை சொல்லுங்க சார்.
ஃபாரஸ்ட் நடக்கும்போது நீங்க கால்ல ஸ்லிப்பர்ஸ் போடலைன்னா முள்ளு குத்தும் bro.
செருப்போர்ல இருந்தா நான் சொல்லுவேன். Okay, wait. Yes. Calm. Yes sir, we don't have time. Top முடியல. Come on. முள்ளு. பூலியன் சொல்லுங்க. தெரியல, நீங்க சொல்லிட்டே இருக்கு. இரியா, एक टॉपिक है. Yes ma'am. எனக்கு புரியல. நான் இங்க ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் வேற சொல்லவே. ஓ, ஏன் காலடி கேட்டுச்சா? ஓகே. நான் பெரிய க்ளூ வேற கொடுத்துட்டேன். இதுக்கு மேல நான் என்ன சொல்றதுன்னு தெரியல எனக்கு. சொல்லிட்டாரு. சொல்லிட்டீங்களா? என்ன சொன்னீங்க? நன்னு தான் ப்ரோ சொன்னாரு அவரு. இவர் நன்னு. நான் சொல்றேன். You gotta be a little bit okay. NONE. Next time வந்து இந்த மாதிரி வேர்ட் சொல்லிங்கன்னா catch ஸ்பெல்லிங் பீ தான் நடத்தணும்னு அடுத்தீங்க. Alright, perfect. Thank you so much. Next, yes, somebody. Yes, let's go. You know the rules? Ready? Okay, roll. How many do we have after this, Nikhil? Two more. Super. Okay. இப்படியே வந்து மாட்டிட்டீங்க பெரிய வார்த்தை கிட்ட. வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க, நம்ம இதை சால்வ் பண்ணுவோம். பெரிய வார்த்தை இது. ஆமா. Yes, somebody. Yes, sir.
Something related to tree shaking.
Tree shaking. இது சரி, அடுத்து கமான். எஸ் சார். அவர் ஆக்சுவலா ஒரு முக்கியமான பாயிண்ட் சொல்லியிருக்காரு, அதுல பெரிய க்ளூ இருக்கு சார். எஸ் சார். One of the practice of code improvisation.
Data structure.
இப்போ எப்படி சொன்னீங்க? ரெண்டு வார்த்தை சொன்னீங்களா? அந்த மாதிரி அதோட பெரிய க்ளூ. அதான் we'll take the positive out of it. Yes sir. When you follow some principles, what do you do to the code?
First, telling us like a header and then.
No. It's more like the name. Yes sir. லவ்லி யா லார்ஜ் ஃபைல் கூட சின்ன சின்னதாக கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? எஸ் சார், ஸ்டாண்டர்டாக கோடிங் எழுதுறோம் லார்ஜ். ஏதாவது சொன்னீங்கன்னா நம்ம ஹாட்டாக கொண்டு முடிவு பண்ணிட்டு இழுத்துடலாம். ஓகேவா?
லேசி லோடிங் பண்றதுக்கு what is not lazy bro, what is that?
ஏய் ஆமா, நீ இருக்கிற வார்த்தை எப்படி சொல்ல நீங்க? ரூல்ஸ் டிஸ்குவாலிஃபை. நோ நோ நோ, அது தப்பு ப்ரோ, சும்மா சொல்றாரு ப்ரோ அவரு. நெக்ஸ்ட் வெரி குட் கேட்ச். யார் பிடிச்சா அவருக்கு ஒரு குடி தனியா தரேன். எனிபடி எல்ஸ்? கம் ஆன், லாஸ்ட் ஃபாஸ்ட், கம் ஆன். You know what? I'm actually going to spice this up a little bit. Just this once. Give me like 2 minutes. We'll do this. Namsaraj மாத்ரோம் bro இத. Okay வா. ஆக்ஷன்ல யாரா ஒரு காமிக்க போறீங்க. யார் வரா இப்போ? Who's going to do this? Namsaraj. Come on. என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? நீ என்ன துப்பு? இரு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வெரி குட். கோட் ஸ்பிளிட்டிங். இல்ல எனக்கு பூரா ஸ்பிட்டிங் எங்க இருந்து வந்து போதுல. லாஜிக் பார்க்க தேவையில்ல, வார்த்தையை தான் பார்க்கணும் நம்ம. Nice. So I think we have 1 or 2 more. So quickly we'll wind it up. Yarora, come on at the end. Come on. Otherwise, yes ma'am. இன்னொன்னு கால். We'll just give yes ma'am. உங்களுக்கு கூப்பிட்டா ஓகே ஃபைன். anybody works? Yes sir, your name? Last time நீங்க வந்தீங்கல்ல?
இல்ல this time this is the first time.
உங்க டாப்பிள் கேக்குறேன், நான் பார்த்துட்டேன் bro. அவரே மாதிரி இருக்கீங்க. Okay. All right. So nice. Nikhil, do we have one more after this or this is the last one? All right, that's the last one then. Yeah, bye. இவென்ட்க்கா இல்ல இந்த இது க்ளூக்கா? ஓகே, இல்ல ஓட்டது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இந்த கேம் ஆடலாம் சொன்ன மாதிரி. ஓகே, that's the first clue. Fibonacci series, yes. Anybody else at the end? Yes sir. எலிஃபென்ட் என்னதோ சொன்னாரு. ஓகே, நம்ம எங்கேயோ போயிட்டோம். எஸ் சார், லாஸ்ட் பர்சன், லாஸ்ட் ரோ. மாநாடு மூவி கான்செப்டா?
Something it calls itself.
ஓ இரு எங்கெங்கயோ போகுது. லாஸ்ட்டுக்கு லாஸ்ட் சொல்லுங்க சார். No. What do you do? பேக் ட்ராக்கிங் என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? மாநாடு, பேக் ட்ராக்கிங், இது எங்கேயோ ஒன்று கனெக்ட் பண்றாங்க, எனக்கும் தெரியல. பட் ஓகே, எங்கே கனெக்ட் ஆகுது? ஃபிபனாக்கி, அல்காரிதம். இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் டாபிக் ஆஃப் ஃப்ரெஷர்ஸ் இன்டர்வியூ. அவ்வளவுதான். Alright, come on. No. You already told. Somebody else. Already you told. No. Anybody else? This side. Yes, sir. Tower of? Last one. What, sir? Piece of code that calls itself. எப்படி கரெக்டா அதாவது வார்த்தை எதுவும் சொல்லக்கூடாது, அதை சொல்லிட்டீங்க. ஆன்சர் பண்ண முடியல. வெரி குட். கண்டினியூ பண்றோம். நெக்ஸ்ட் அல்காரிதம் கான்செப்ட். வெயிட், நீங்க ஆக்சுவலா இப்போ ஒரு பதில் சொல்லுங்களேன். நீங்க எங்க இருக்கீங்க? ஆக்சுவலா நான் இவங்க கிட்ட பேசி எங்க இருக்கீங்கன்னு கவனிக்கல. ஏதாவது சொல்லுங்க, அதை வச்சுதான் நான். வெரி குட். ஃபங்க்ஷன், அவர் ஃபங்க்ஷன்ல இருக்காரு இப்போ. சொல்லுங்க, ஃபங்க்ஷன் தான். இருங்க, ரிட்டர்ன்ஸ்க்கு வந்திருக்காரு. ஓகே, let's hear him. Let's hear him. Yes sir. Initially we do base condition.
If statement condition.
சரி, நீங்க இது வரைக்கும் சொன்ன வேர்ட்லாம் சொல்லுங்க ஒரே தடவை. லூப்பிங் இருக்கு, லூப்பிங் சொன்னீங்க, அப்புறம் switch statement, if else.
Then
இது நாலுமே இல்ல. ஆனா நீங்க ஒரு வார்த்தை சொன்னீங்க, நான் க்ளூ தரேன், பெரிய க்ளூ தரேன். வேற என்ன சொன்னீங்க?
data structure, algorithm, binary tree.
ஆனா அந்த வார்த்தை மட்டும் திருப்பி விட்டீங்க நீங்க. இருங்க, somebody else quickly, come on, fast. Restricted unlock. Okay, wait. Only one restricted word we are unlocking. திரும்பி பார்க்க கூடாது, இத மட்டும் unlock பண்ணிக்கலாம். One unlock. recovery action சேர்த்து படிங்கன்றாரு. நான் சேர்த்து படிச்சா recovery action தான் வருது. Alright, recovery action is something he is giving as a clue. சேர்த்து படிங்கன்றாரு. Call yourself.
Wait, function calling.
Function is calling yourself. உங்களையே திருப்பி கூப்பிடுற ஃபங்க்ஷன் என்ன ஃபங்க்ஷன்? பேர் என்ன? ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு பேர் என்ன? அவர் இன்டர்வியூ கூட இந்த மாதிரி செட் பண்ணவே மாட்டாருங்க. ஏங்க இந்த மாதிரி பண்றீங்க அவர்கள்? சப்பு. அவர் கையை பாருங்க. அவர் கையை பாருங்க. அவர் கையை பாருங்க, அங்க பாருங்க. அப்படி ஒண்ணு போகுது. அது இன்னும் guys, please, last இது இவரை வந்து எப்படியா we have to make him understand. Come on. பாத்துட்டாரு அவரு பதில் சொல்ற இல்ல, பாத்துட்டாரு, ஆன்சரை பாத்துட்டாரு. வெரி குட், round of applause. alright, பரவாயில்ல, இதுக்காச்சும் பேசுனீங்க. வெரி குட். என்ன இப்பயே கை தூக்குறீங்க? எதுக்குயா? அது முடிஞ்சிச்சு, அவ்வளவுதான். அதுக்கு மேல டைம் இல்லை நம்ம கிட்ட. Alright, so what's going to happen now is that we're probably going to, Nikhil, are we having the speaker session now and then the break? So we'll have a speaker session now and adukapram we'll have a break, possibly. We'll see the time and we'll decide. Okay? Illa game polama. Polam solla enna amchutranga pola veetukku appadinte enna panna mudiyadhu. We go to the talk now. Okay? Yes, happy? No? Energetic? Yes, no? Yes, happy, finally. Okay. So let's go for the next one.
Okay, so before we actually go to the next speaker, hello. Okay, sir. Okay, so actually when the speaker was speaking, like we had very little interaction, but in the guess the word we had a lot of interactions. I guess from next time onwards, if we have a full day event on guess the word, I guess you guys will be happier. So yeah. So next speaker is already okay. So we have TamilSelvan Subramaniyan next. So if you are going to attend KANINI's React interview, you could actually spot him over there because he is also an interview panelist. He plays cricket in his free time, and today he is going to have a session on beyond useState and useEffect, advanced React hooks for scalable apps. So let's give a round of applause for him, guys. So how many of you have actually used something other than useEffect and useState? Okay, so what have you used?
Use reducer, use callback, use memo, use a lot of things. In fact, use.
Yeah. Anyone else like you have used something other than useEffect and useState until he connects? Anyone wants to answer? Okay, could you just expand on like whatever you said?
Sure. I think the use memo is something that it is used to memorize the value. So if you are going to recursively call, or you are going to try, or your let's say your application is re-rendering and you don't want some computation which is computationally heavy, you don't want to calculate it every single time, then probably you can wrap it under use memo so that the value will be memoized. And the next one is about
the next one he'll explain. Thanks, buddy.
Okay. Hello. Hey, hi. Good afternoon. Good evening. Yeah, very warm welcome to KANINI. So today we are going to discuss about the advanced React hooks. So we are mostly using the hooks useState and useEffect and the performance optimization hooks like use memo and use callback, right? And more than that, use context as well as use reducer. Let us anyone you Apart from that, can anyone tell some of the hooks which we used in this project? I mean, with your project, apart from these hooks. useRef is a normal hook we frequently use. Use focus effect. Other than that, use ID. Okay. Next. Okay, fine. So in these sessions, we will explore together how the hooks will help us to optimize the React application as well as performance and manage concurrency. Okay. So then our agenda for this session is the performance optimization hooks that everyone will know. Use callback and use memo. And next is use ref and use imperative handle. There's a ref power. I don't deep dive into this use ref. Then the time dilemma. Everybody know the use effect, and some of know the use layout effect. We will explore the use layout effect more. Then the next level utilities hooks, use ID. Then the most advanced feature which they introduced in the React 19 hooks. This is our sessions agenda. So our first slide is performance optimizations. Whenever we develop any applications, firstly we are facing the performance issues, right? So the React comes up with two hooks which help us to optimize our applications. One is use memo and one is use callback. This is mostly we are using in our applications. I thought someone from you explained the use memo as well as use callback. Anybody? I think use memo explained by you. Use callback.
Use callback remembers a function.
Can you please stand and tell loudly? Everybody can.
Use callback is the React code. What memorizes is the function declaration, not the value of the function. So let's say there is a function that's going to add two numbers. So if you are giving the parameters as 2, 3, it's going to remember the function. It's not going to remember the value as 5, but it's going to remember the declaration of the function. So when it is useful when you are sending it as a prop in the component mainly. So that time it's not going to declare the function.
Yeah, the recreation of the functions we can avoid. Then we will have the provision to stop the callback function to the child component. That is the main use case of the use callback hooks. So our next topic is concurrency in React. What is concurrency in React? Anybody? What is concurrency? Just meaning. Concurrency.
Processing something, taking a break, processing some of the thing, and then getting back the other one.
Yeah, maybe. The next one. Other than that, actually the concurrency means we can perform multiple tasks together. Previously, the React is synchronous and blocking. We can do some of the actions continuously in our applications, but we have now the React 18 introduced the concurrency methods hooks, that is non-blocking the updates and deferred. The one is use transition and another one is use deferred value. I will show the example for the use transition. First, we will go with the use transition. One second. Just wait a minute. So before that, I will explain this code. So in this, I have simply created one input text box. Okay, we can able to enter or increasing the number by using this text box, and I also performing the one heavy calculations here due to this how the use transition will work. It will loop the values continuously. For that we can able to see how that use transition hook will works. I will show you the demo. Before that, anybody knows about the use transition before? No. So this is a text box. If I enter the numbers, the calculations will appear here. But the concern is, if I type continuously, the loop will runs behind the screen. So it makes the UI freeze and it's unresponsive, correct? So for that, we are using the use transition hooks. It will render the UI. It will render the UI without blocking the other part of the UI. That's the main purpose of the use transition. For the use transition, we just import. That is the hook. Use transition we import from the React. Then you have to declare like which we declare the state, right? It have two parameters. One is pending and another one is set transition. By use pending, we check whether the transition is still running, and set transitions will let you know. I mean, it will wrap the functions which they're doing the heavy calculations or heavy data processing or any heavy expose the API calls. So we have to wrap that function in this set transitions like this. I have wrapped the set number in this set transition, right? So by using pending, I have made one conditions which looks like it will give some loading indicators or some text message to the user. Without showing the blank screen, we have to show something to the user, right? To responsiveness for the user experience. For that, I am just using the loading text. I will show the demo. For example, if I type the number 2, it will show the loading. Then it will run the calculations. Once the result comes, it will disappear. That is the main use case of the use transition, mainly used for the concurrency methods. Then another one have the use deferred value. Anyone know about the use deferred value? It is same as use transition, but the difference is it will populate the old value when the new data is processed behind the screen. For example, if I type the 2, it will retain 0. Once the process is completed, then when again it calculated, it shows the value. I will show how it is works by the live demo. Like we have to import use deferred value from the React like this. It's just a simple concept. Then I will get rid of this use transition. So we have to pass this input. We have the state right input. We have to pass this input to the deferred value, like const deferred value. With this help of use deferred value, we need to pass input like this. So this hooks will take care of all the logics behind the screens. I will check one boolean condition here is check. So I need to check whether the deferred value and input value is same or not. If it is same, I will show this some message to the user, like use deferred value not equal to input. Sorry, I have to get rid of this. Instead of is pending, I am going to do is state. Just wait a second, it will compile. Now listen the UI carefully. If I type 2, it will stay 2. Then only after the load is completed, it will retain the new values. Got it? Basically, it will preserve the old values when the new data is formed in the background. That is the purpose of use deferred value. But here one pitfall is that we have lot of third-party libraries to handle this issue. Like we have the Lodash or a load spinner to show the user without the blank page. So instead of using this use deferred value as well as use transition, better you can go with those packages. That is the better approaches when you start your project. Okay. The next hook is use imperative handle. Anybody know about this hook? Use imperative handle. I think many of us we won't hear about these hooks, because I know this about hooks before 1 month only. Then what is the purpose of the hooks? In traditional way, the data is, or somehow the method is flows from parent to child. That is the process of React as of now. So if you want to pass data from child to parent, what you do? Prop drilling. But prop drilling makes the process complicated and it's affect the performance issue, right? So to overcome that, the React 18 introduced the use imperative handle. We can pass the method or data to the parent component by using this use imperative handle. I will show the real demo. So already I have the two components. The fancy input is my child component and fancy input parent is my parent component. Here I have imported the fancy input here. So I pass this parent component reference to the child component to consume the, I have wrote some logic here. One is, first I will show the UI, then you can able to understand clearly. Sorry. So this is our input box. I have the buttons focus and clear, but I wrote this method in child component to focus the text box when I am clicking the focus. For clear, if I type something in the text box, if I click the clear button, it will clear the values. So I wrote this method in child component. Somehow we need to pass this methods to the parent component. I have the buttons in my parent component. I will show you. See, we have the button for focus as well as clear button. Somehow we need to get the reference of the child component. For that, I wrap the focus and the clear function in the use imperative handle. Now the parent component can able to access this focus and the clear function. If I type, then if I click the focus button, it will give the focus to the text box. If I type something and click the clear button, the clear also work. That is the main use case of the use imperative handle. The next hook is we are used very well. Second. Yeah. So the next hook is use effect versus use layout effect. Use effect we everyone know. That means it affect the side effect changes. That means you can able to log the values in the console or subscribe and unscribe from the server, clear and setting the interval and consume the API calls. That is the main use case of the use effect. And they have the dependency array. Based on the dependency array, it will works continuous rendering, or if the state changes, then it will render. But many of us not know about the use layout effect, right? What is use layout effect? So we are rarely used these hooks only when the measurement of this, I mean, it will render the browser before the DOM paints. That means it will render the page before the DOM creations. Okay, that is the main use case of the use layout effect. Maybe you can ask what is the purpose of this before it render. Then the purpose is, for example, as a developer, you can set the width or height of the parent elements. I mean elements. If it is if you put it in a use effect, the user maybe see some flickering issue, or it will create some annoying things in the UI. So to overcome that, we are going to use layout effect. I will show you the example. Then you will understand what is the purpose of use layout effect. Fancy input. 1 second. I think my system is slow. Just give me a minute. So yeah, let's see. So I have two buttons. One is use effect and another one is use layout effect. If I click that, I just created one dynamic box with the margin 20 pixel to move the box to the left side to see the UI how it updates. For example, if I click that toggle use effect box, you know that this sliding right flickering. But when I click the layout, see, you can see the difference, correct? Maybe I will show you one more. Just 1 second flickering, then toggle layout only rendered at that time. So that is the main use case of the use layout effect. The user can able to see the UI without any flickering or any clumsy issues. That is the main purpose of use layout effect. Then we have another hook same as the use layout effect, the use insertion effect. I think we are not going to use these hooks in our application because it only used for those who are creating the library. They are using these hooks to inject styles before the screen updates. It will run before the use layout effect. So for that, for example, if you create the library like CSS in JS library, like styled components or emotions, if I am the user, I am going to that website, I might see if the style is loading lately, I might see some unstyled components there. So to avoid that, we are using the use insertion effect. I will show the code how it works. So here I have created the 3 buttons. One is for green, red and blue. Then I set a default use state green. Here this is a use insertion effect. Here I have created the style element, create element style. Then I created the dynamic box. Then append and it remove the append. Then I removed that because why I removed the style every time means it will re-render the style again and again to avoid the conflict between the old and new one. That is the purpose of use insertion effect. Don't worry, we are not mostly going to use these hooks in our applications. Maybe it's our general knowledge purpose. Then next is use ID. So someone said use ID, right? Who is that? Can you tell me what is use ID? Yeah, that's okay. What is the purpose? No, that's the main concern here. We don't use use ID in the key. Whether you are mapping or looping, don't use use ID there. Yeah, tell me. Just try it. Yeah, tell me.
To set some ID in our element use.
Okay.
And also some random GUIDs in object.
Okay, fine. So in traditional, we are going to, I will show you how we declare the ID. Yeah. So this is the common use case for we are declaring the ID as well as the label. The HTML for will, what is HTML for? Anybody? What is the purpose of that? To point out the other elements. Here, what is the other elements in this code? Sorry? Input, correct. So it will get the reference from the input to maintain the accessibility. So instead of creating this static dynamic ID, what I am going to do is I am going to import the user ID from the React. Like I am going to create one user ID const instead of this I am going to use this. I will show you how it created the unique number. So we have the checkbox component, right? So when you go to the elements, so this is that unique ID. R0 is the unique ID which they created by the use ID. If you create another checkbox, it will create another unique ID, that is R1. Then it will go R1, R2, R3 like that. So that is the use case of the use ID. This is maintain the accessibility between the client and the server rendering. That is the main case. So then the next most advanced features is the React 19, which they introduced the hooks. One is use action state, and another one is use form status, and another one is use optimistic. Anybody know about those hooks, or anybody implemented in our project? Which hooks? Use optimistic. What is the use case of optimistic?
You assume that it is going to come, you just render this.
Yeah, maybe okay, we will go one by one. So the first hook is use action state. I will show you one example, maybe you can better understand. Yeah, so this is one a simple login form. Here I have the two inputs, that is username as well as password. But here I am maintaining the state for both username, password, then error and a loading state. To overcome that, the React 19 come up with simple solutions to take care of all this by using use action state. The form actions will directly give these values, error, and is loading to the use action state. I will show how it give a. See, this is how it works. We don't need use state for that. It will help us to clear the code repeated. They will reduce the code repetitions as well as improve the performance also. So the use action state will take two parameters. One is handle submit and another one is initial state, that is data is null and error is null. Here this handle submit will give two data. One is previous state as well as form data. In the form data, you all know, in form we can get the username, password, or anyone from the form data get username as well as password. So then we have to then I wrote the dummy API here to check the username is valid or not, like this. If the username is user, then password is pass, I will return true. The data is user at example.com. That is the dummy API here. When you go to the action state, you just simply assign the data to, see, this data is coming to here to check result.data and error is null. Then catch is also, we have to check the previous state as well as error state here. Basically it will improve handling the state usage in the form. Mainly it is used for only form. Other than that, the use case is small. Okay. Then use form status. Then use form. Before that, I will go with optimistic. So you mentioned, right, the optimistic is also improved to give the user experience. For example, in WhatsApp, when we send a message to someone, it will automatically give the response within a second. But in React applications, if you send the data to the API, it will take some time to resolve. So, at the time this application shows some blank page, it will give some awkward to the user. For that, we put some placeholder to the that page. I will show you. So this is my to-do app. If I type something and if I add the button, it will show. One second. I will show before that optimistic.js. Yeah, so yeah, I will show you. This is the syntax for the optimistic. Like we saw the use state, right? Use action state. It will take the old here. I will show you. This is an initial state which we given here. Then it will create the new to-dos as well as pending state is true. The pending state is false when the user update the state. I will show you. Use optimistic. So if I add something, here you can see the adding message, right? Maybe again. That placeholder. The adding is the placeholder which the pending state is true. That is the purpose of use optimistic here. Yeah, that's all from my side. Do you have any questions? Any hooks? About any hooks? Actually, I missed one hook due to some time constraints. That is use form status. Maybe you can check in the official website.
Thank you. Just stick to just one question. Anyone has any questions? No, I guess, and the snacks is also ready. So I guess like we'll give a big round of applause first. So now I invite Nikhil to the stage.
Maybe you all are go through the React official documentation for to overcome, I mean to know about the React 19 hooks. Actually it will be very helpful to your real-time project. It will save a lot of time for us. Then I have we have still 2 to 3 hooks. Maybe you check the React documentation. Don't stick with useEffect, useState. Okay.
That's what audiences do. Like they clap without being prompted.
Thank you.
So go to Rambo. Rambo.
அடிக்கிற மாதிரி வரீங்க. Alright, so guys, break போலாமா? Session போயிட்டு break போலாமா? Break போலாமா? Sure. Alright, so we still have one more session and we still have a couple of activities to do after that, which is the giveaway LinkedIn post as such. Alright, so Nikhil, how long do we have for the break? Right, so they're telling 15 minutes. So if you're able to do it in 15 minutes, the snacks are right there. Basic etiquettes again, washrooms are at the back, coffees is right behind this cupboard here, and washrooms are also behind there. If you guys are a little bit more hungry, go to the basement. There's a cafeteria there. Hang around, have food, come back. இப்போதான் இவெண்ட்டுக்கு எத்தனை பேர் வந்திருக்கீங்கன்றது தெரியும். So we will see how many people. Yes, and about this giveaway, take a picture if you did not take it, and if you've already taken it, fill it when you can. And remember what I told about it. If you're able to make it to React India, please make sure you go for this link. Okay, 15 minutes for the ma. It's not scannable. All right, so what I'll do is I'll leave this on screen. So when you're coming out for your snacks, just come close to the screen and try scanning it. All right, is it working? Yeah, I think you need to come closer. So when you come closer, it should be fine. 15 minutes enough? Yes. All 15, 1-5. 15 இல்ல 1-5. வீட்டுக்கு போகணுமா? அப்ப சீக்கிரம் வந்து செஷனுக்கு உட்காரணும். ஓகே, சொல்றதுக்குள்ளே கிளம்பியாச்சு. காலேஜோட மோசம்டா நீங்க. டேய் மைக் ஆஃப் பண்ணும். இது ஆஃப் பண்ணுமா? சார்ஜ் போடுங்க. நிக்கல் So if you're not scanned it away, scan it again. Okay. It's not working. Certain angles. All right. So if you guys want to scan the QR, mute it up. No. I think it's fine. If you guys want the QR, Praveen is bringing it there. All right. என்ன பண்ணலாம்? Director speak to stock என்ன bro ஆளால போறீங்க?
Save this prompt. Okay. இருக்கா?
All right, so before we jump to the next speaker, we're going to have a little bit of a small talk, something that's going to, give you guys some insights on how good community activities are. So, apart from Chennai React, are you guys part of any other communities? Yes, what communities? Huh? Well, the last two guys first. Nama Flutter, lovely. Yes, Ange Nanda. Yes. And I see that. Yes, sir. You, sir. Huh? Washington material. Fascinated Chennai. Yes. And I know. Confirm. Yes, sir. GDG. Yeah. No problem. Awesome. Any other communities? D3. Yes. Lovely. We have a D3 here as well. யார் பா D3 எது கை தூக்குங்க. பாத்துக்க வச்சுக்கோ. இவங்க எல்லாம் நம்ம பிடிச்சு போட்டுருங்க அவ்வளவுதான். Next. Any other? Yes. D3. இவங்க இங்கேயும் வாலண்டியர் வராரு. பிடிச்சுக்கோங்க. Any other communities that you guys are part of? கோடான் JVM அங்கேயும் நான் தான் இருப்பேன் மோஸ்டா. நான் பார்த்தேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் நான் லாஸ்ட் டைம். கரெக்ட். அப்போ கேட்கும் போது என்ன பார்க்கல என்ன உன்னையே கேட்கிறேன் கரெக்ட் வேற யாரும் கேட்டேன். சாரி மை bad memory, right? So the question is, why do you guys go to such communities? Why do you guys be a part of such communities? What is your end goal? Learning. Yes. Fun with learning. Yes. Any other? Networking. Lovely answer. Anyone else? Is it just because you have free time on Saturday? You just want to meet new people. You just wanted to go somewhere. So you went, you don't want to go to a movie, so you go to a tech conference where you get free food and sleep. Is that it? There's no shame in admitting it, because I've been there, done that when the Firebase a long time ago. Right. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because whenever you go to these community events, you're not just going to learn, but also to network, as mentioned. And this networking is not going to like stop here when it comes to you finding a career path or you finding new people. It's going to branch out into something very extreme that you have no clue about how it's going to go out. And we have one such story that's homegrown with React India. So from React Chennai, we've been a small community. If you guys know how the React Chennai journey started, was last year. All that we had was an idea. Chennai, we don't have a community for React. Let's simply do something. And Nikhil, Surya, we all started this. And at first, we had about 30 people in our event. Every time it grew, 14 events it grew. And every single time, we had a new speaker. And the best part is, sila speaker வந்து அதாவது இதற்கு டாக்கே கொடுத்ததில்ல அவங்க இது வரைக்கும். They have a passion for React. They just wanted to see. They have a passion for talking. They want to like express their views. And they did that with React Chennai. With this process is one case study, or I mean, I won't say a case study. I would say an inspiring story. Nikhil, if you could go to the next slide, is with Uday Prakash. So Uday has been with us with this React journey for quite some time, and now he's actually a speaker for React India. And I'll just hand over the mic. Before I hand it over to Uday, I'll just give you a quick rundown. So Uday, join me on stage. And the surprising thing here is, he was a part of the organizing team. He was a part of our internal volunteering team. And then he became a speaker for us in Chennai React. And bit by bit, he grew. Today he stands as one of the top people to give, because since most of you guys are new, you cannot give a simple talk in React India because you are competing with the best of the best. Simple சொல்றேன், ஒரு ஈவென்ட்டுக்கு போறீங்க, a ticket costs you 20,000 rupees, 18,999 plus GST. 800 people போறாங்க, அதான் வச்சுக்கோங்க, 100 people are sponsored, but rest 700 are people who pay that money to come and listen to people talk, and that is a very monumental bandwidth that you're going to have to cross, and he's crossed that, and today he stands as a speaker, and I personally it was very happy seeing you Uday on the website. So over to you, Uday. This is your story, it's your time, stage is yours.
Hey everyone. Where it started. We started at the same stage. Chennai React, but okay, sorry. So where should I start? So last year I attended React India's conference, so 2024. So it was sponsored by my office. So they sent me there. So you meet the speakers. You can meet the speakers in the React India. So that's how I met Satya. Anyone know Satya? Satya Gunasekaran, React 19 compiler team. So you would have, if you see videos about React 19, right? The compiler, React 19 compiler, you will find Satya. He's also here today. He's a ex-employee now. So he worked in Meta. So he was working in React compiler as well. Before he worked in Google, by the way. So that's how I got connection. So I connected with him because he gave a talk about React compiler in React India last year. So I had a chance to interact with him. So he's from Chennai. இந்த முறை தமிழை சொல்லிக்கிறேன். அவரை போய் பார்த்த உடனே he said, சொல்லுடா. So it's easy for me to, talk to him. So that's how I spoke with Satya, and then he introduced me Nikhil. So Nikhil from Chennai React. So he's the organizer or founder of, he's and Surya are the founder of Chennai React, right? So he introduced me Nikhil, and then I told him these are the things that we do in our organization. That's how he introduced me Nikhil, because you can give this as a talk where n number of developers connect in this community, and then you will learn something from here, right? And then you try to implement that in your organization. So that's how I got connection with Nikhil. So that's why networking is very important. This community driven events are, very helpful when where you can network with multiple people around you, and you will get some inspirations from them. Even startup ideas can also, why it has to born, it should not born in, it should can also born in here, right? So you can buy some ideas from here and then try to do startup is not meant to be in coffee shops, right? So yeah, so that's how I got connected with Nikhil, and then he invited me for a talk. So my journey as a speaker started started in February. I don't know how many of you attended the February event where I gave a talk for the first time. So I was very nervous. Today Chandrakumar was nervous, as he is. I was nervous on that day, and so that's how I built my journey. And I have almost spoken 6 to 7 different conferences. The last conference was in Next.js conference in Bangalore, and I have also, part of D3 community. So I'm a communication relationship manager. That's what he gave me a posting, Arvind, because when we are in React Nexus, I connected with a lot of people telling that I'm a volunteer in D3. So I'm enjoying working with those people because they give me a lot of ideas that I can make use of in my work. And yeah, React India. So my goal was, in this year I wanted to speak at a international conference. Finally that happened. Like everyone, I submitted my talk proposal and the call for proposal, and I got invited finally. I'm really happy, and I hope that I made proud, because Satya is my idol. Okay, so I feel like it's destiny for me to connect with him, and then that journey took me to React India conference.
So thanks for the people who were behind me, and thanks for the opportunities. Thank you so much. And you can also be here. You just have to start sharing what you learn in your organization, and that would take you heights, because the community is a place where you can get a lot of information about how you can drive a product, right? There will be a lot of developers from different domains. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Alright, so last minute, but it's fine. Guys are having some energy? No? Yes? Yes? Okay, but so that's actually one of our own stories, and there are many more stories of how people have found big things with small efforts. You know, this is a small effort for you, but you never know where it's going to take you down the line. You know, it's a simple way to put it. On my personal level as well, I've faced similar stories. Previous to this, me working in IT, previous to me working in IT, back in my school days, I had an idea. So I made my own startup back in the day. And who knew that I started making these small events, small activities, doing these small network connections, finally to end up working for NVIDIA. So how many of you guys know NVIDIA? NVIDIA? Nobody? Yes? NVIDIA na konjam IT paathu theriyum nenichen. You guys know NVIDIA, right? Everybody knows NVIDIA, right? So I was working for NVIDIA when I started my college, first year of my college itself. So I was working as gaming operations, and my job was to play games which were not released to the public way before it was released, and I have to plan a marketing structure for the game to be released in India. And I did this back in the day in college, first year itself. Monday to Friday college poven, Saturday night I go to Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai. Like I track each week I have to go to different places, and I keep doing that. And I go to different cities, and I traveled all across India. College time la Monday to Friday da college poven, Saturday Sunday always travel. And from NVIDIA, I work for Lenovo, Legion, the Legion gaming series. I work for Intel, Arc gaming series. And idallam bore adichu naduvula vandu I just wanted some thrill of my time. So during my third year of college, I took a sabbatical leave for about 3 months in my college time, and I joined Air Force in Hyderabad. So I was working as a waveguide engineer for the Sukhoi program in Hyderabad at HIL. How many of you guys know Hindustan Aeronautics? So I was working on aircraft there. This all started from just meeting new people in different domains, in different spectrums. The weirdest conversation I've ever had was through my professor. He took me to an event. Basically, he just took me to his event as a tag along. And when I went with him to a tag along, he introduced me to a person. And that person then gave me an opportunity to work for his company. And slowly, bit by bit, I was an intern, jumped here, jumped there, jumped that. And it paved my career in spectrums I didn't expect. Likewise, it's going to be for you as well. So, in this vertical, I'm going to give you some opportunities for other community activities that we are a part of, we're partnered with, we're collaborating with. And one of them is TechX conference. How many of you guys have been to TechX conferences or heard about TechX? Yes, sir. Anybody else? Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, this is the largest conference when it comes to the Asian side of things, and it's happening on the 1st of November. Quite bigger than this in the Chennai Trade Center. So, to learn more about this, you just need to look up TechX conferences on Google, and you should be able to find the registration link as such. Nikhil, can we swap? Next up, we have the CTO talk. Okay, this is where things are a little tricky. Since the name itself says CTO talk, this is more of the experience spectrum of people. So if you have people who with good experience who are the CTO category, CTO levels, this is the place where you want to be. Again, fair warning, experienced people. It's not that freshers are not allowed. It's just the fact that this is going to be more useful for people in the senior category. As the name says, it is a CTO talk where you're going to be meeting people with like mindsets, grinding business deals, as well as exposure for your company. Next up, we have, and oh, before that, today is the last day you'll be able to use this coupon code, which is CTOJ25 for a discount on the tickets. But today is the last day for using this code. It expires today night, right? Next up, we have DevFest. DevFest, anybody? I think some of you guys should know about DevFest, yes? Oh? Yes? You're not gone there, but you heard about it. That's perfectly fine. So here in this DevFest is more like it's like a job fair combined with the developer activity as such. So you guys can go there, check it out on November 8th. And this is going to be focusing more on the talks, but also more of networking, job hiring. It's going to be like a fair-like activity. And it's quite fun to go to as well. So you can look up DevFest Chennai on Google, and you should be finding this as well. Nikhil, do we have any more community announcements? That's it. LinkedIn giveaway.
Or last time.
Last meetup. நீங்க இப்ப என்ன சொன்னீங்க தெரியுமா? We're going to do LinkedIn giveaway for last time. அப்படினா இதுக்கு மேல பண்ண மாட்டோமா நெக்ஸ்ட்? லாஸ்ட் மீட்டப். அது தெளிவா சொன்னோம்ல. ஸ்டேஜ்ல ஏத்தி இப்ப சொல்றீங்க நீங்க. ரைட். So LinkedIn giveaway. அப்படியே லைவ்ல பாருங்க गाइस. Canva-ல எப்படி இதுதான் this is what we call working in production. dev testing எல்லாம் கிடையாது. டைரக்ட் சென்ட் அவ்வளவுதான். நிக்கல் எங்க வர்க் பண்றீங்க? இல்ல நிக்கல் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ல பண்றீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். அனௌன்ஸ் பண்றேன். எனக்கு புரியல எனக்கு. ப்ரொடக்ஷன் வர்க் பண்ணிட்டேன். See, I find my guy. So you won your set of goodies. அந்த பக்கம் நீங்க ஏன் வர அவுட் போறீங்க? So he posted last time, right? So just to reiterate what this is, if you look at the backside, we have the Chennai React logos, we have this venue. Take pictures, post snaps, tag us, post it, and get out there on LinkedIn and share what you feel about this event. The more you share, the more your chances are for winning. It just can be anything, but make sure you use hashtag Chennai React 14. Chennai. Now that I think about it, won't they be like Chennai React 2014 because Chennai React 14th midterm, not 14, na? Chennai React 14 works, alright? So Chennai React 14. Do we have another giveaway? Yes, Mahavir. Do we have Mahavir? A. யார் வேணா எழுந்திருச்சு மகாவீர்னு சொல்லலாம், பட் ஓகே. ஐடி கார்டா செக் பண்ண போறோம். எத்தனை பண்ணிருப்போம் ஸ்கூல் டேஸ்ல. You guys have never done this in school days? College days? நல்ல புள்ளி. சார் எஸ் சார், வேற லெவல் சார். நிஜமா ஐடி கார்டு செக் பண்ண சத்தியமணி தானா சார்? காலேஜ் டேஸ்ல இந்த மாதிரிலாம் வந்து இ ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் டோர்னமெண்ட் ஜெயிச்சோன்னா பேர் கூப்பிடுவாங்க. அவங்க போயிடுவாங்க வீட்டுக்கு, காலேஜ் பார்ட்டின்ட்டு. நாங்கள் போய் சர்டிஃபிகேட் வாங்கிட்டு அமௌண்ட் வாங்கிப்போம். ரேம்போட வேலையா? ஆமா ப்ரோ, வைக்கவே பட மாட்டேன், பண்ண வேலை தான். இல்லைன்னு தீனு எஸ் சார் ப்ரோ, அவர் டேரக்டா எழுதிருச்சாரு, மூவ்மெண்ட்டே கிடையாது. நிஜமாவே தீனுவா ப்ரோ? ஆதார் கார்டு தீனுக்கு மட்டும் கிளாப்ஸ் விட்டு எப்படி? ஆல் செட் பண்ணிட்டார். வேற நோட் பண்ணிட்டேன். வேற நிக்கல். Yes, Sarvesh. So if you guys haven't been following Sarvesh, have you checked out his Instagram? He is also an inspiring story. So Sarvesh, mic எடுத்துக்கோங்க bro, வாங்க bro. நல்ல ராசியான மைக், என் கைப்படப்பட்டு இந்த பாக வச்சுக்கோங்க. இது மைக். தமிழ்நாடு கோவம்.
Okay. So how many of you people know about tamilnadu.tech? Can you just raise your hands? Okay, that's a good count. So basically tamilnadu.tech is an event directory website basically. Okay. So it was created just for people like you who wanted to know what community events are happening within Tamil Nadu. Okay, so we list all kinds of tech and startup events across Tamil Nadu. So the website, it is actually open source, load aitirukku, fine. It's open source, it's there in GitHub. You can also contribute. We have a lot of issues open, so you can maybe have this as a good start for contributing to FOSS. Okay, so okay, I don't know any problem. So basically we have all kinds of events listed there. You can just click and register update, like it will just redirect to the event website and you can just register right there. The URL is tamilnadu.tech, and other than that, today we launched one more new site called as tamilnadu.lol. Tamilnadu.lol, it's basically jokes, Tamil jokes directory. Okay, so it was the sole motive of the website is to improve FOSS contribution here in Tamil Nadu. So that it's just a JSON, jokes.json or single file da. So that like basically bro. Okay, let them do the searching. So tamilnadu.lol is basically for Tamil Nadu vandute FOSS, we need to improve the FOSS contributions and stuff for open source projects. So tamilnadu.lol is basically a good first project basically. So if you want to start contributing and you have not done it yet, you can go visit tamilnadu.lol and just try submitting a new joke. Okay, Tanglish jokes. So you can just try submitting a joke, and maintainers including me will be approving it, so that that will be a good first start. Earlier. இமேஜஸ்ல தெரியுங்க, இமேஜஸ்ல தேடிருக்கானுங்க.
பட்டன வெப்சைட் இஸ் டவுன் ஓட்டியா
இது யாரா டைப் பண்றது? என்ன எவ்வளவு நேரம் பேசிட்டு இருப்பேன்? Okay, fine. For some odd reason we are not able to get it loaded here, so you can just visit in your phones and laptops tamilnadu.tech. For it's an event directory for tech and startup events across Tamil Nadu. If you come across as an event or a tech event or a startup event, if you come across a startup event or a tech event which has not been listed in the website, you can very well come and contribute. Fully open source, you can very well contribute it in GitHub. And adu illama, again as I said, you said already, tamilnadu.lol, basically Tanglish jokes. Already vandu or 30-40 PR vandu pending la irukku, so I need to approve it. I will do it. So you can also submit your jokes. You can have that as a very good starting point. If you have so far if you have not contributed to any open source project, you can have it as a starting point for practicing how PR works, how contributing to open source project works. Okay, so that is the sole motive of tamilnadu.lol. So do look, we are looking forward for your PRs, everything. Thank you so much.
Okay, so right, so am I going to see you guys in more events? சென்னையில் ஏதாவது ஒரு 3-4 கம்யூனிட்டியில் நானும் தான் இருப்பேன் ஹோஸ்டா. அதில் அந்த மொக்கெல்லாம் அப்பயும் கேட்பீங்க. You guys enjoyed today? Do you guys feel that today was helpful to you or could be improved? Nikhil, can we get the feedback slide up? And Nikhil, can we get the feedback slide alone up? All right, so right, so now, since I was talking about how anybody can be a speaker as long as they have the goal, ambition. 10 நிமிஷம் முடிச்சிரேன் bro, உங்களுக்கு தான் bro முடிக்கிறேன். கொட்டாய் விடாதீங்க, கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணி நான் முடிச்சிரேன் bro பட்டன்டே. என்ன? All right, so உங்களுக்கு தான் bro நான் இவ்வளவு ஃபாஸ்டா போயிட்டு இருக்கேன், இந்த மின்னல் வேகத்துல போயிட்டு இருக்கேன் நான் உங்களுக்கு. So the call for speakers, this is, if listen, I'll tell this to you right now. Kanna mutta full send it bro. If you have the idea, if you feel like, don't feel like எனக்கு தமிழ்ல தான் ஒழுங்கா பேச வரும், இங்கிலீஷ் அவ்வளோ பேச வராது. Nothing stops you. This is Chennai React, and we are based here in Tamil Nadu. If you can speak good Tamil, it's really great. Broken English is also fine. Anything is good, but all we need is a spark of interest. If you have that spark, take a picture. In the link மாறாது, take a picture and keep it. நைட்டு திடீர்னு தூங்கி எழுச்சு 3 மணிக்கு ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷன் வரும் பாருங்க, நம்ம சிரிக்காத அப்படிதானே நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு இப்போ. வர எனக்கு 3 மணிக்கு எழுந்திரிச்ச உடனே நாளைக்கே நம்ம அம்பானி ஆகணும்னு ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷன் வரும். பாய்ஸ் கேன் ரிலேட். அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது ஆச்சுன்னா ஃபில் பண்ணுங்க, ஸ்பேம் பண்ணாதீங்க, சிரிக்காதீங்க. ஸ்பேம் பண்ணாம ஃபில் பண்ணுங்க. நான் போகுது. Now, Nikhil, yes, we have this. Yeah. All right.
We'll do a 10-minute lightning talk.
All right. So since we are going to be time boxing this, we are going to go for the next speaker. Before that, any questions? Any questions about how do you apply for a speaker, or what are the minimum requirements? What is? You have no questions about what are the minimum requirements are for the speaker? No? You guys know? What is the minimum requirement for a speaker? Pace over, no? Okay, that's fair. What is the minimum requirement for a speaker? Fast. Interest, exactly. That's all we need. Who said interest? Round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you for listening. Lovely. All right. So onwards, we go for the next speaker. Yes, you can give the mic to him. Okay, Santosh. All right, Santosh. Relax, sir. So it's all down to you. All right, guys. Round of applause for Santosh.
Okay, let me just directly jump into the topic. So yeah, so this is something going to be interesting for the next 10 minutes. So what we are going to do is not going to code, no demos, no code, nothing. So I think all the couple of speakers before me done that, all these things. So currently I'm just going to do, like, what I'm going to do is just judge people, or like judge people who wrote these packages, or judge these packages. That's what I'm going to do, right? So now this is going to be interesting, right? Judging. So yeah, so what is going to be the talk is like, if I'm going to create a React app today, what are going to be the design decisions I'm going to take, and what are going to be the packages, libraries, tools, whatever I'm going to use it, and what I'm not going to use it. That's what it says. And like, to set the context, like we need to have some scenario, right? I'm not going to create a React app in 2016 with Grunt, Gulp, Webpack and all. So it's going to be like 2025. We are living in the present, and like, what are going to be the scenes like? I'm not going to build something like which requires a SEO or something, so it's completely going to be a client-side app. So what else? Like, yeah, no UMD, MD modules. Like, we are going to properly write like usual stuff, TypeScript, and all these things. So yeah, so when it comes to the experience, right? Like, when you develop a React app, or any such apps, or any software that you write, there are 3 experiences. One is like the user experience, like which usually the user is going to consume it, like whomever is going to be like. And then the next is developer experience. Who's developing that software? Like, so he needs to feel better, or like he needs to feel good about developing that software or writing that piece of code. And the third one is the operator experience. This is something like a lot of people usually miss, but still nowadays a lot of new companies popping up in this domain, like observability, monitoring, and all these things. So when you operate a software, you are not just gonna like, okay, I wrote the code, I'm just like, my customers are using it, but still we need to know how the customers are using it. Are they ending up with some runtime errors, or like, are they actually performing some actions like more than what we use, or whatever, right? Say for example, let's consider Google Maps. Like, now why I chose Google Maps is like, from morning I have been like looking at the time to reach here. So let's consider that, right? Like, say there is a feature like saved places. How many people use it? Probably not. You need to monitor, add beacons, see how many people are using that saved places, so that you can make better design decisions, or even the product decisions, or business decisions, or whatever. So now saying that, getting into the backend clients as the first part, right? Like, say whenever you create a React app, like, the backend is gonna be something that the backend engineers are gonna decide on, but the backend client is something that you need to choose, right? Say for example, if it is Open API, we have a couple of things. There is a company called Harness, if you know. They're working on some gateway controller kind of stuff, and they are actually having a tool called Oats, which will generate all the scaffolding. Like you don't need to use this fetch or Axios or anything. You just give that open API. So the backend has to be built on open API standards, and then you just give that open API contract to that Oats tool, and then that will give you the scaffolding, entire scaffolding. You will get functions for each and every API. And the good part about those backend clients, right? So you don't want to actually write a lot of boilerplate code by yourself, right? So you can just consume the caching that comes out of the box. You can just consume that like network policies, how you're going to fetch it. Say for example, there is a API. Okay, every time when you navigate, like say user page, right, the list of users are listed, and in that page if you want to just call the API, maybe not, like say the users are not going to be added in your application every day or every moment, right? So maybe what you can do is you can show obsolete data for a moment of time, and then when in the meantime you can actually refetch it and then update the data. So this part of the thing is called cache first approach, where you use the cache first and then you go fetch the data and then replace it. Or otherwise you can always use network policy, where it's always going to be like a typical call, like a backend call, like every time it goes fetches it from the backend and then populates the data in the application, right? So so as I mentioned, like for open API there is this Oats and there is this React open API client, which I am not so sure about, but yeah. And then there is Apollo. How many of you use GraphQL here? Yeah, few hands. Okay, so GraphQL has been in the scene for a while now, like say starting from Relay. There are a lot of tools around it. Apollo has been one quite a good mature tool in this, like that we would like to use. And similar way, like if how many people are using gRPC calls for the front end? Okay, cool. So that is also something that you can look at it. So again, like you need something called Envoy, which is a proxy, like a forward proxy, which forwards all your requests from your UI to the backend. So you need that proxy, but still it's also very useful. Like based on your use case, if your throughput is high, say for example, most of our apps, like in real time we use, right, like the throughput is very much limited, right? So you fetch the users, maybe you paginate the API if the payload is high, and you do all these things to reduce the payload. But there are some applications which are prone to this high throughput requirement, right? Say for example, stock trading app. Okay, let's consider Grow. So you have multiple let's consider you have built a portfolio like similar to Anand Srinivasan, who is like a famous like finance consultant here, right? So if you think of his portfolio, right, like he would have like 100 different stocks or 150 different stocks, and then the data will be coming every moment, like continuously for 100 different portfolios. Maybe he can choose it from the app. So for these kind of scenarios, high throughput is very much required. Like say every second you need a data point, and that's gonna come. And like how are you going to handle that high throughput? gRPC can be one option which can help there. Now yeah, so for gRPC kind of things, there is something called connect query. Just explore this. Like I'm just rushing it up so that like if you want to double click on any of these things, just like let me know after the talk, I can catch up with you. So this is on the state management part. So basically, how many of you use this Redux or Flex or what? Okay, how many of you know Flex? What is Flex? Okay, somebody. Are you oldie? No. Okay, so Flex is something like which has
இல்லை வந்து இந்த செஷன் இன்னும் போனால் நல்லா இருக்கும்னு சொன்ன மாதிரி எனக்கு ஃபீலிங்காக இருந்துச்சு. Alright, so we're now ending to the last part of the session. After this, you'll have your networking, and if you want to leave, you can leave. அதுக்கு மேலே கட்டி போட மாட்டோம். But before we go there, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the KANINI team. Varsha and Ramya, if you could join us on stage. You guys been amazing, giving us this amazing venue. I mean, it's one of the best venues we've had, 14 editions, and this is one of the best venues that we've been a part of. We're loving the venue. And Surya, Nikhil, if you guys can join us on stage to give them their memorabilia, that would be great.